questions. I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. Is Russia responsible for the passenger plane crash that killed 38 people in Central Asia? The plane carrying 67 from Azerbaijan to Russia crashing in Kazakhstan on Christmas Day. Fox's Chanley Painter.
Some officials are blaming Russian anti-aircraft fire. The Wall Street Journal reporting that an aviation security firm believes the flight was likely shot down by a Russian military air defense system after it evaluated the footage of the crash, damage to the aircraft, and recent military activity. And some aviation experts have suggested that the perforations in the plane's tail section looked consistent with a possible missile strike or the work of air defense. This crash did come shortly after drone strikes hit southern Russia Wednesday morning, and drone activity, of course, has shut down airports in that area in the past.
And there are 29 survivors, and President Biden is calling out Russia for what he says is an outrageous attack on Ukraine's power grid on Christmas Day. Moscow launching more than 170 missiles and drones on Ukraine on Wednesday, targeting that country's infrastructure. The president saying the U.S. will continue to strengthen Ukraine's defense, promising a, quote, surge of weapons deliveries, unquote, to the country. And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky also calling out Russian leader Vladimir Putin on X. It's been 20 years since more than 227,000 people were killed in 17 countries in a massive Indian Ocean tsunami. The monster tidal wave was triggered by a 9.1 magnitude earthquake in the Indian Ocean that careened towards South and Southeast Asia and East Africa at 300 miles an hour. Today, folks gathering in prayer, visiting mass graves in Indonesia.
We can never forget what happened on that black day, the 26th of December 2004.
1.7 million people displaced.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Christmas Day violence. 44 degrees, mostly cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Two people shot to death in separate shootings on the east side. One of them was a woman.
Multiple neighbors told me there are a lot of parties at the house where the shooting happened. They told me those parties routinely cause a ruckus on the street. One neighbor told me they'd wish they'd move away. IMPD set the scene for what led up to the mass shooting.
Family gathering, friends, just devastating. A disturbance within the residence, again, holidays. I don't know what the details are. Detectives will continue to work on that.
There were 4 kids under 18 inside the house at the time of the shooting.
Wish TV's Cody Fisher. The day before in Carroll County, a man shot by sheriff's deputies. It was at a home right on the Cass County-Carroll County line, and it was Cass County deputies who responded first.
Shot fired. Suspect down. Came out with a knife.
Dispatch audio as the incident unfolded. The man the deputies shot is said to have stabbed an elderly woman beforehand. Christopher Evans was killed. State police now looking into it. A house fire in Monroe County Christmas morning sent a person to the hospital. Firefighters were sent to the home shortly before 4 a.m. and found flames coming from a bedroom window. The victim was found in the front yard and then rushed to the hospital. No cause of the fire just yet. Rockstar Pizza in Brownsburg is donating all of its proceeds from sales on Christmas Day to its employees. Owners Ron and Colby Matthews say that there were 13 employees who volunteered to work yesterday, and staff members say that it was the busiest 4 hours of the year. About 200 pizza orders were taken, some of which were made earlier in the week. Employees say they normally take home between $500 and $700 for the day. Back to work today for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
We all know the challenge that lies ahead, so preparation will be as critical as it is every week as you prepare for an opponent.
Head coach Marcus Freeman, their new opponent are the SEC champions Georgia. The two will square off in the next round of the college football playoff in the Sugar Bowl on New Year's Day. Traffic on the 5s, Matt Baer.
Yeah, Kurt, northbound 65 semi-fire cleanup continues between Edgewood Avenue and 465. 3 right lanes are closed. Traffic is stopped to Southport Road for a 42-minute delay. And they've also shut down the ramp from Southport Road to northbound 65 because they want to limit traffic into that area. Also looking at a crash at Central Avenue south of 20th. Traffic sponsored by PureTalk.com. Stop overpaying for your cell phone plan. Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month on their 5G network. Dial pound 250 and say keyword switch now. to save 50% off your first month. I'm Matt Bear with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Early morning showers and fog start to taper off. We're cloudy the rest of the day, a high of 52. Tonight, cloudy skies should be relatively quiet, a low down to 44. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
Mostly cloudy, 44 on Monument Circle. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Well, good morning. It is Thursday, December 26th. It's 6 minutes after 9. You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. My name is Casey Daniels. Rob Kendall has the day off. And in his place, Jim Roberts is joining me in the studio. Good morning, and thank you for being here.
Happy to be here. I swear Rob is coming back. I don't know when, but at some point in time, Rob will be back on the show.
You think so?
I'm pretty sure of it. Yeah, no, I bet money on that.
Okay.
Rob is coming back.
I hope
just
so.
Not today.
Yeah, so get used to hearing this. How was your Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas? It reminds me of that Seinfeld episode when Kramer and Jerry were talking about, how was your day, dear? Did you have a good day or a bad day?
I don't know. Well, how was your day?
So you're going to get asked that a lot. My Christmas was fantastic, just in case you were wondering.
I was.
I'm wearing new shoes today, and they were a Christmas gift, and my feet are very happy.
Happy feet.
Yeah. You know, when you wear new shoes, nobody ever comments on new shoes. So I just thought I'd put it out there. I'm wearing new shoes. So if you see them, comment on them.
Casey Daniels 317 on Twitter.
Yeah.
Send her a note. Say how awesome her shoes look.
New shoes. Look, I'll kick them up there. You can see them on the YouTube channel. If you want to watch us today, you can. Type in Kendall and Casey into the YouTube search bar. So let's get down to business, Jim, as we're all discovering a little bit more about Greenland. So Donald Trump has previously expressed interest in buying Greenland during his first term. He's been joking about the purchase, including a photoshopped image of him in a Trump-branded hotel in Greenland. But this time, he appears to be a little bit more serious in the discussion, especially with his advisors. With his second presidency approaching, he has revisited the Greenland purchase idea, stating it is an absolute necessity for U.S. national security and freedom. Now, here's the deal with Greenland. Does not have a very large population. In fact, there are more people living in Kokomo, Indiana, than there are in the whole country of Greenland. So there's more going on at the Coco Motel in Kokomo than Nuuk, Greenland.
What's Nuuk?
Nuuk is a city in Greenland.
It's a city in
N-U-U-K, and Greenland right there by the Arctic Circle, by the way.
So this is on top of what we heard Trump say about the Panama Canal. Hey, we want the Panama Canal back. Hey, will you sell us Greenland?
Yeah.
Hey, Canada, you want to be our 51st state? So this is obviously a pattern of Trump. This is obviously something intentional he's doing, and I think people are getting caught up into the specifics of this. Well, Greenland's not going to want to sell to us, and we have no claim over the Panama Canal, and there's no way Canada is going to be the 51st state with Justin Trudeau as the governor. I view this as very similar to the Trump debate where he said they're eating the cats and the dogs. What did that do? It put immigration to the forefront. Trump is talking about all three of these individual autonomous countries, and they've all got something, and he's basically saying, hey, I want that. Hey, I want Green. Hey, I want the Panama Canal back. Hey, let Canada come be part of the United States. Why is he doing it? I think he's doing it to say that American foreign policy is now going to be different. Daddy's back in charge. Daddy Trump is back in charge. The days of Joe Biden just leaving Afghanistan on a whim and making it a total disaster, and all the other foreign policy nightmares, from a war in Israel to a war in Ukraine, all of that is over. The adults are back in charge, and you're not going to be able to push America around. That's all he's saying. Would it be great if we were able to buy Greenland and get the Panama Canal back and incorporate it? Sure, all those things would be great. I don't know if Trump really believes we have any shot at pulling any of these off, but this is the way he negotiates. Everything with Trump is a sales pitch, and everything with Trump is a negotiation, and that's exactly what this is.
So it's interesting that he's starting with the stick rather than the carrot. He's saying, you know what, we want these, we're going to take these, we're going to buy these, rather than negotiating up to something. He's stating from the get-go, no, we want this.
But that's the way Trump starts. So it's really interesting. So with our adversaries, he always starts with the carrot. North Korea, he went and met with Kim Jong-un. Russia, China, he starts with the carrot on all of those. The countries that don't have any, adversarial toward us, or maybe aren't that much of a threat of us, then he starts with the stick. This is all part of his negotiating tactic to get what he wants when it comes to foreign policy going forward.
So Greenland's prime minister has rejected the idea of selling the island, and he said, Greenland is ours, we are not for sale, and will never be for sale. Now, Greenland is actually a territory of Denmark.
Yeah, I've learned more about Greenland in the last 48 hours than I ever did with, all my education at school. Yeah, it's a territory of Denmark. It's got 56,000 people. It's up by the Arctic Circle. Not much going on there, but it is, because of its location.
A gas station for us.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to have a ton of natural resources, and it does have national security implications associated with it.
And it could be a nice pit stop for transporting oil across the North Atlantic. Stand to make a lot of money with fees.
It's a very important corridor, obviously. And again, I don't know if Trump really believes that we're going to purchase Greenland, but this is the way he negotiates. He negotiates by being completely ridiculous with what he wants. And that way, when he comes back down to what he really wants, it doesn't sound so ridiculous compared to the first thing he started with.
Greenland does offer now a new international airport for visitors. So let's talk about something else Donald Trump has said yesterday, Christmas, of course. 2.38 billion Christians around the world. Nearly 1/3 of the world's population is considered to be Christian, many celebrating Christmas yesterday. And here is Donald Trump and Melania Trump with their Christmas message.
The President and I want to wish every American a very Merry Christmas.
During the sacred season, Christians celebrate the greatest miracle in human history. More than 2,000 years ago, God sent his only begotten Son to be with us. An angel announced the birth of our Lord and Savior to humble shepherds. He said, I bring you good news that will cause great joy for all of the people. Today in the town of David, a Savior has been born to you. He is the Messiah, the Lord. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes and lying in a manger. At Christmas, we thank God for sending us his Son to bring peace to our souls and joy to the world.
During this wonderful time of year, we also give thanks for the brave and selfless Americans who keep us safe. We are forever grateful for the men and women of law enforcement and the heroes of the United States military.
In this holy season, we thank God for his infinite love, and we pray that the light of his glory will forever shine on this magnificent land. On behalf of Melania and the entire Trump family, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Many people were very pleased to be hearing Donald Trump talking about Christianity and his thoughts on God. Of course, that seems to have been more absent from the White House, even though we do have a Catholic president currently.
Yeah, a lot of people, this is a great piece that he and Melania put out. It was very presidential. It was of the right tone. He talked about the reason for the season, all the right things. I think it was funny that was in contrast, and we'll talk about this later, to his Truth Social post that was put on Twitter, where he kind of roasted everybody from China to Russia and Iran and everybody else in there. So I'm glad that you still see those both sides of Donald Trump.
And here's another Christmas greeting. This time it is from the Speaker of the House.
Hi, I'm Speaker of the House Mike Johnson.
And I'm Kelly Johnson, and we want to wish you and your family a Merry Christmas.
You know, this is such a special time for Americans and Christians all around the world, Kelly.
Yeah, well, and as a family, we love decorating for Christmas, watching Christmas movies, exchanging presents, and mostly just spending quality time together. But amid all the Christmas parties and family traditions, it's important to remember what this season is really all about.
That unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. As families across the country come together to celebrate Christmas, let's be grateful for our countless blessings and joyful at the miracle of Jesus' birth and resurrection, and mindful of the assurance that God's love will bring us peace and hope throughout this joyous season. I hope you'll join Kelly and me today as we pray for our fellow Americans, that soldiers and service members serving overseas will be protected and comforted, that every child will be filled with the faith and love that comes with Christmas, and that this next year will be marked by great blessings and prosperity for our country.
So from our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
God bless you, and God bless America.
So our governor, Eric Holcomb, did not put out a video. He just tweeted out, "May this season bring peace, joy, and hope to your homes. From Janet and I, Merry Christmas. Hashtag Hoosiers." And then if you go down and read the comments, people not happy with Eric Holcomb.
I've always said this about social media, and this isn't specific to Eric Holcomb, but you can tweet the most benign, innocuous statement. Just, hey, I hope you have a good day today. And somebody on Twitter is going to be like, hey, I'm not having a good day.
Don't tell me what to do.
Why don't you stick it? So,
Yeah.
what did they do for Holcomb's very innocuous and benign Christmas greeting?
It was a mix. You had Merry Christmas and thank you, Governor. And then you also had, thank God this is your last term. We won't miss you. Get out, Rhino, things of that nature. So a mixed bag. Now, what about Todd Young? What did he have to say? Well, let's take a listen.
I want to wish you and your loved ones a very Merry Christmas. This is a special time of year as we celebrate traditions, we gather together to worship, and spend time with family and friends. It's also an opportunity to reflect on the blessings we enjoy and the sacrifices made for us. I want to say a special thanks to our men and women in the armed services, especially those who are deployed away from their families and into harm's way this holiday season. Thank you for your service and sacrifice that allows us to live freely. Whether you're at home or away this year, I hope your Christmas season is filled with joy and meaning. I wish you a safe and Merry Christmas and a joyous New Year.
Senator Todd Young getting a mixed bag as well, from Merry Christmas, Senator Todd, Merry Christmas, Senator, to all I want for Christmas is that you support all of Trump's cabinet nominations.
Reasonable.
And stop spending, Todd. Merry Christmas, Rhino. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, traitor. It's interesting. Todd was, by himself. He did not have his family surrounding him. But let's do a quick flashback. This is when Joe Biden was taking phone calls with Jill Biden, and somebody called in to tell him what they were thinking.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas as well. Merry Christmas, and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
You remember that flashback.
We all remember.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Donald Trump has invited President Xi to the inauguration. Your thoughts, Nigel?
It's a total power move.
This is what I expect. On the day of the inauguration, he forces President Xi to eat McDonald's. Like when he brought RFK Jr. into his cabinet, has to sit down and eat a Big Mac. Like, wouldn't you love to see President Xi sitting down eating a Big Mac?
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
The holidays are over, and the new year is here, making it the perfect time to think about the future. More specifically, it's the perfect time to think about your financial future. Right now, Howard Bailey Financial is offering a free retirement toolkit, a comprehensive guide designed to help you plan, save, and jumpstart the retirement you deserve. To get your free copy today, text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 and download your free retirement toolkit. Start 2025 off with a gift to yourself, filled with all the tools you need to plan for a positive and purpose-filled future. Just text FUTURE to 888-262-1104 to start planning today. Make this new year your year to invest in yourself and secure a brighter tomorrow, starting today. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avastin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Neighborhoods are popping up everywhere, but if you want something different than what you're currently seeing, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, can build you a unique, custom home on your own private lot or anywhere you can bring your own builder. They've built hundreds of homes across central Indiana. Visit Joyner Homes Model Homes or go to joynerhomes.com to see floor plans and pricing and more. With Joyner Homes, you can even start from scratch if you want. Check out their 5-star Google reviews and visit joynerhomes.com.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar at 8. And January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
J.D. Vance shared a video on Christmas Eve of him making biscuits with his 3-year-old daughter, Mirabelle. The video was posted on X, and he's using a family recipe that was passed down from his great-grandmother. He emphasized the importance of biscuits in American Christmas dinners. He shared the secret of using frozen butter, which was taught to him by his grandmother. I don't use frozen butter. I do use cold butter, especially when making certain things like doughy things that you have to get your hands in, because then it just gives you that little pocket of butter in the biscuits or in the scone or whatever it is you're making.
And that's what you want, because the temperature from your hands is going to start melting that butter real quickly. So that's why in a lot of recipes use frozen butter, ice cold butter.
Mirabelle, who is his youngest child, she played the role of sous chef in the video, and his sons Vivek and Ewan, they joined him at the end when the biscuits were ready. Lots of people were commenting on the video. Let's take a quick listen to it. Here is J.D. Vance making biscuits with his daughter.
My great-grandmother, Mammoth Land, taught me the trick to a good biscuit is frozen butter. So we have a frozen stick of butter here that I'm actually going to grate with a cheese grater. 2 scoops of sugar into the flour.
How are we just put them in this?
Well, how can be the sugary biscuits, right? Do you like sugary biscuits? Grab the rest of our dry ingredients here. So we're going to need about 3 teaspoons, which is equivalent to 1 tablespoon of baking powder.
So he goes on and he gives the entire recipe, and thousands of viewers, including Elon Musk, commented on the wholesome family moment. A lot of people expressing appreciation for the normalcy of the scene. It garnered over 3 million views. Fans were praising the heartwarming interaction. However, believe it or not, of course, there were some people who were complaining about this.
Yeah, this is the number one comment on Twitter right underneath J.D. Vance's post. This isn't somebody else that reposted it. Somebody said, call me a Grinch, but I actually find it undignified for our future second in command, literally a heartbeat away from the presidency, to appear like this on social media.
I don't understand what people are upset about. To me, it seemed very normal. The kitchen seemed really normal. It was just the countertop, hardwood floors, nothing fancy. You can't see any granite or marble or
he doesn't live in this
chandelier,
palatial palace with a $10,000 stove and a $5,000
right.
range
It's not like,
hood.
you don't see a wolf oven behind him or any high-end appliances. And even the containers that the ingredients are in, they just seem very normal, just very Midwest. He's wearing a shirt that says Cincinnati on it. His daughter's just in a cute little sweatshirt. Doesn't have bows in her hair and a big dress, or they're not done up to the nines to make biscuits. He's just wearing jeans. You can see the kitchen table next to him, and it looks like behind him, hanging on the wall, is a montage picture frame, which just has pictures of the children growing up. It just seemed very wholesome and normal to me. And people just have to find issue with everything.
And to take off on that too is the production quality of this. Yeah. This wasn't multiple cameras and great lighting, and in fact, the audio's not very great. You can kind of not hear him.
It's like shot with an iPhone.
It is. It's shot with his phone. He might have had a tripod for a steady shot, but that's it. But I think this is the great contrast here, and it's one of the reasons why Trump and Vance did so well. And I think this is what you need to see from future politicians. This was real. This was authentic. There was nothing phony about this. Whether you liked it or not, whether you didn't like his biscuit recipe or not, there were people coming at him in the comments saying that's not the way a Southerner makes biscuits. Okay, that's all in good fun.
Yeah.
This is real, this is authentic, and this is the way politicians need to be going forward if they want to keep winning elections. Why didn't Kamala win? And there's a million different reasons, but one of the biggest reasons is she was a big phony.
Yeah.
She's a big phony.
You knew her lines were handed to her.
Absolutely. Anything that came out of her mouth seemed fake, did not seem real, when just the opposite. When it came, Trump may say ridiculous, crazy things. He may say things that make you very angry or say, why is he saying that? But you know that they're authentic and that they're genuine. I think this is something that politicians are really going to have to lean into going forward, because that is what the country craves, and that is authenticity. And genuineness right now. And that's exactly what this video was with Vance and his child.
You're right. Vance did authentic for 3 minutes. Most politicians can't do that. And the fact that he had a child there with him, and kids are going to say whatever pops into their head, right? You can't script that. And he didn't. It was just a normal thing to do, making some biscuits in the kitchen with your kid, and it made him seem very authentic and real. And to your point, that's what politicians need to do if they want to win. So on Christmas Eve, Joe Biden signed a lot of legislation, including declaring that we now have an official national bird. And we're going to talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Around here, it's a little less about presents and a little more about presence. To celebrate, to share, and to give thanks. To be there. And right now, you can be there in a Hubler quality pre-owned vehicle. Every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Shop any of Hubler's 12 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report. You can be there for years to come because Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Happy holidays, Indiana. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 12 locations. May your season be full of presents. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Getting some work done. It's 45 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 9:30. President Biden spent some of his Christmas Day in the Oval Office, signing some bills into law. Fox's Jared Halpern.
The president put pen to paper, signing 50 bills into law on Christmas Eve. The mostly bipartisan measures include renaming post offices and federal buildings and enacting tougher rules for rehab and behavioral institutions for teenagers. President Biden also signed legislation requiring colleges and universities to include hazing incidents in annual security reports. The president spends the rest of the week with his family on the island of St. Croix. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Travelers are back to packing airports after a Christmas Day lull, according to FlightAware. There have been around 1,500 delays so far today, with under 200 cancellations at last check. AAA says about 120 million people will be traveling 50 miles or more through January 1st, which is back to pre-pandemic levels. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management, LLC. After taking yesterday off, stocks are on the decline to keep things going this week. The Dow was off 183 to 43,462. The NASDAQ is down 84 to 21,942. And the S&P 500 is down 23.5 to 6,074. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Exercise Inc. wants you to start changing your life in 20 minutes a week this month. It's Terry Stacy, and Exercise Inc. only makes this offer once a year in December. If you come in for a free consultation in the month of December, you'll get 2 free sessions just for trying it out, and you don't even have to sign up. Exercise Inc. is the 20-minute once-a-week workout program that will help you get stronger, have more energy, and just feel better. This program was developed to help women with osteoporosis, but it will help both men and women get a lot stronger. Their program will teach you simple nutritional habits that will help you lose weight and keep it off. More importantly, you'll have a coach who will hold you accountable in reaching your goals. You don't want to miss this offer. Come in for a free consultation in the month of December, and you'll get 2 free sessions just for trying it out. Exercise Inc. Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers, exerciseinc.com.
Join Mark Patrick seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar at 8. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Looking for a great place to go for car care? Hi, this is Lonnie Hinkle from Jiffy Lube, and I'd like to share the top 5 reasons that every Hoosier should trust Jiffy Lube to help keep their car running safe and well. Number 5, our computer system holds the maintenance data for every make and model. We know exactly what your car needs and when it needs to be done. Number 4, Jiffy Lube's training system is in the Training Magazine Hall of Fame. Along with companies like Ritz-Carlton, Starbucks, and Nordstrom's, our team does the job right. Number 3, you never need an appointment. We we are ready to serve you whenever it works best for you, so come on in and see us. Number 2, Jiffy Lube accepts competitor coupons so you can get our great service at the desperate price of our competitors. And number 1, Jiffy Lube is a one-stop maintenance shop, and we make it easy for you to take great care of your car. Avoid the repair shop by getting your maintenance done at Jiffy Lube. And we now offer brakes, tires, tune-ups, and minor repairs at most stores.
So head to Jiffy Lube. There's really no reason to take your car anywhere else.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIPC.
On Christmas Eve, Joe Biden signed legislation officially designating the bald eagle as America's national bird. The bald eagle, been a symbol of America for a long time, appeared on coins, bills, the Great Seal, played a role in conservation efforts, but the bald eagle has never been the national bird officially until now. And this is something that Joe Biden did on his way out the door.
Yeah, he's catching a lot of flack for this. There's a lot of people that are saying, hey, this is what you're spending your time on. You got a month left in there, and this is what you're wasting your time on. I have the exact opposite opinion. This is the greatest thing Biden can be doing because he's not harming anything. Rather than giving billions more money to Ukraine or $1 billion to Ecuador or pardoning those pardons last week. I'm not even talking about the Hunter Biden pardon.
The commuting of 37 people serving on federal death row.
That's part of it. Yeah. But then there was another whole round of pardons in addition to that. People that were racists and corrupt judges or rapists and killers. This is the exact sort of thing I want Biden doing for the next 30 days.
Stuff that doesn't really matter, rather than upping assistance to Ukraine, spending more of our money, sending more of our money to other countries.
Busy work and nonsense. That's what I want. What are we, 26 days? I think that we got 26 days until the inauguration. That's what I want him doing. Shake hands, do ceremonies, show ribbon cuttings, anything that really doesn't matter is exactly what Biden should be doing, because when he does stuff that matters, it goes the complete wrong direction.
So there's an article in The Hill right now that says that Joe Biden is going to leave the White House with little fanfare. Well, not if you consider everything that he was doing last week, right? Like all of the things that you mentioned, more money to Ecuador, money to other countries, and commuting sentences. He was very busy. So making the bald eagle the national bird, that's more on speed of what he should be doing.
Exactly. And I think when they say little fanfare, I think that means the actual exit. There's not going to be a lot of going away ceremonies and end of the road type things and goodbyes. It's just going to kind of slink on out the back door and see you later.
Now, Ethan, you had mentioned that you thought it should have been the turkey. That was something that was it Benjamin Franklin wanted it to be the turkey, the national bird?
That was Benjamin Franklin who had originally envisioned the national turkey because it's such a stocky and durable bird.
Well, there was a great population of them as well, right?
Yeah.
Something many people eat, and what, you need sustenance? Nobody's going to eat the bald eagle. They better not anyway.
I hope Biden spent an entire week having a debate as to which bird should be the turkey, should it be the bald eagle, maybe it should be the red-breasted robin. That take all the time you need. These are important decisions, Joe. Take a lot of time. Let's not make any of these things hasty.
Slow it down, Joe. Think about the bald eagle. Currently, bald eagle populations are in the hundreds of thousands, sightings even in urban areas like New York City. The legislation was led by Minnesota legislators because they have one of the largest bald eagle populations in the United States.
Again, was Tim Walz part of that? Minnesota legislators. Again, that's the exact sort of thing I want Tim Walz doing. Don't be spending time by putting tampons in men's bathrooms and all the other leftist stuff that he's been doing in Minnesota. Focus on the important things, Tim. Who should be the national bird?
If your mayor doesn't do this, you might want a new mayor. This guy's name is Scott LeMay, and he is from Garland, Texas, and he's doing a play on Die Hard for his Christmas greeting to his constituents.
Come down to City Hall. We'll get together. Come down to City Hall. We'll get together. It'll be fun.
Mayor, are you in there?
No.
Remember when we said no Die Hard?
But it's a Christmas movie, Courtney. I'm telling you.
No Die Hard. Just do it normal.
Go away. From all of us here at the City of Garland, we want to wish you happy holidays and an awesome 2025.
He was pretty creative.
Yippee-ki-yay, man.
He was pretty creative the way he did it. He took a big box from Home Depot and kind of disassembled it, made it look like a tube, like the air conditioning
He was
shaft.
recreating the famous scene in Die Hard where
Bruce
Willis is in the air conditioning duct, the heat duct, and he's got his Zippo lighter out, and the flame is going so he could have some light and see what's going on. And he was wearing the classic white tank top undershirt. It was a great piece of social media content and very funny. And hats off to that mayor for having a nice sense of humor.
A little sense of humor. Yeah, it's quite different from other elected officials who put out the video, like we've played many of them for you, standing in front of the Christmas tree and with their, family, or just citing, from our family to yours, Merry Christmas. This guy instead is trying to recreate Die Hard.
It's a good contrast. Like the Mike Johnson video that we just heard of in the previous break. That was all very stuffy and political and well scripted out and not a word out of place and nothing interesting about it whatsoever. If you haven't seen this, if you just go to Twitter and search Garland Mayor, it'll be the first thing that pops up. It's about a 2-minute video where he takes this, a twist on Die Hard. It's very, very amusing.
Of course, reigniting the debate, is Die Hard a Christmas movie or not?
I thought we finished this debate when I was in here on Christmas Eve. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Of course, many people in the comments to his post still want to argue. Some saying, how much did this cost taxpayers? Other people saying, he's just having fun. Other people saying Garland, Texas goes hard. And then, of course, the debate, I'm sorry, but Die Hard is the best Christmas movie in history. And others saying it's not a Christmas movie.
One of my favorite things, every Christmas Eve, my Twitter feed is full of fake breaking news. Gunshots fired at Nakatomi Plaza. Love it every year on Christmas Eve. It's a great tradition.
Speaking of Christmas and Christmas entertainment, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey back at #1 for the 6th straight year. Can you believe that?
I had it on my list. We went through my top 5 Christmas songs on Christmas Eve, on Monday rather. It's a banger. It's just it's a fun song, and I can get how people are sick of it, and I get plenty of people don't like Mariah Carey, but it's a Christmas banger, and I'm not surprised that it's #1 again for 16 years in a row. It's a fun song.
Originally released in 1994, the now iconic Christmas track first entered Hot 100's top 10 in December of 2017, and it topped the chart in 2019, and it has pretty much stayed there. Mariah Carey said, "When I wrote it, I had absolutely no idea the impact the song would eventually have worldwide. I'm so full of gratitude that so many people enjoy it with me every year." She's so full of gratitude, and she's so full of dollar signs as well, because, of course, she's making a whole lot of bank every year.
Every time that song is played, that is her. Okay, so Mariah Carey was a massive superstar in music, cranking out #1 hit after #1 hit, millions of albums sold. She was very, very popular, very big. This is the biggest thing she's ever done. Easily, not only in terms of airplay and sales, but cultural impact. This Christmas song is bigger than her in anything from her entire catalog.
Yeah, well, and it's got staying power as well. You're going to hear this at least once a year versus like Fantasy.
50 years from now, we'll still be playing All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey.
Brenda Lee, who turned 80, is at #2 on the charts with Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. So Mariah Carey unseating a classic, Brenda Lee, again. And she just keeps doing it year after year.
I will say both of those were on my top 5 Christmas song list.
Yes, you called it. Credit to you, right? Okay, Donald Trump has told Wayne Gretzky to run for governor of Canada. He tweeted out, "I just left Wayne Gretzky, the great one, as he's known in ice hockey circles. I said, Wayne, why don't you run for Prime Minister of Canada, soon to be known as Governor of Canada? You would win easily. You wouldn't even have to campaign." But then he said he had no interest.
I'm going to write Wayne Gretzky's political tagline.
Yeah?
Make Canada the Great One again.
Oh, nice.
Because that's what they call Waino, the Great One. I would love. Can you imagine Wayne Gretzky as Prime Minister of Canada? That would be fabulous. It'd be wonderful.
Trump is right. He would win so easy. And you know who else would win? If it were to become the 51st state, every Winter Olympics, we would dominate.
We would crush everybody.
Own it.
That's the Olympics when like Finland and Sweden and Denmark can actually get some gold medals. That would be completely wiped off the table. We would run everything, boat race all the other countries in the Winter Olympics.
So Donald Trump was promising Canadians that their taxes would be cut if Canada became the 51st state. And he said that the U.S. will be in Greenland, and called out China as well for controlling the Panama Canal, and also said that the 37 death row criminals that Joe Biden commuted sentences of could go to hell. Very, it's Donald Trump in his element, right? You think he's going to start off with Merry Christmas and God bless from my family to yours. Nope. Right there, China, go to hell. That's how he's tweeting out.
He's trolling everybody. But this is what Trump does. And again, it's what I talked about earlier. These types of things where he's saying, we want to buy Greenland. We want to take back the Panama Canal, and Canada should become the 51st state. There's a reason he's doing that. It's not just Trump talking crazy. He's putting all of the world leaders on notice that it is not going to be business as usual. And that's important because Trump was far from a perfect president. He spent way too much money. He struggled a lot with COVID. But one of the things he did do really well during his presidency was foreign policy. Contrast that with the foreign policy disaster that Biden's had in the last 4 years. War in Ukraine, war in Israel, the disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. Trump is just letting everybody know, I'm back, and we're not going to be doing the same thing we've been doing the last 4 years.
He also said to Governor Justin Trudeau of Canada, whose citizens' taxes are far too high, but if Canada was to become the 51st state, their taxes would be cut by more than 60%. Their businesses would immediately double in size, and they would be militarily protected like no other country anywhere in the world.
Now, see, I'd prefer if Canada... Here's the problem with Canada becoming the 51st state. They're very liberal in Canada. So that would be a rock-solid blue state and electoral votes for the presidential election. I'm more in favor of them becoming a territory like Guam or Puerto Rico. Sure, you're part of us, but you don't get to vote for president, or if you do get to vote, it's symbolic, and we're not really counting those votes.
So it's interesting you say that it is very liberal and is very blue. However, I do believe that it is changing after the leadership or non-leadership of Justin Trudeau. And Pierre Poilievre, he was roasting Trudeau's spending in his Christmas message. It's something that these conservative leaders sometimes are taking their Christmas message and making it political as well.
I agree. Canada is still pretty darn liberal. Now, they may end up electing a conservative prime minister, but that just shows you how bad Trudeau is. Trudeau's been so terrible that even liberals are like, I can't do this anymore. We got to get somebody else in there.
Trump ended his tweet with, "We had the greatest election in the history of our country. A bright light is now shining over the USA, and in 26 days, we will make America great again. Merry Christmas." It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC. Hey, it's Casey from the Kendall and Casey Show. Merry Christmas. We'll see you back here Thursday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
This is Kevin and Kim at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. This special time of the year, family is important, and we are here to keep yours warm and happy, just like we have for 40 years.
We appreciate your business throughout the year, and we are always here for you if you need us. So from our family and our entire team at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
I went to My Computer Career because I needed job security.
Because I wanted a career in cybersecurity.
I went to My Computer Career because IT jobs are everywhere.
My old job was going nowhere.
I went because I didn't want college loans for the rest of my life.
Because I wanted a career for the rest of my life.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Classes available online or in person. Financial aid available for qualified students, including the GI Bill. 529 college savings plans accepted.
Not available in Washington State.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, We provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
Great holiday savings all month at Tom Roush Lincoln. And during the Lincoln Wish List sales event, select 2024 Lincoln Navigators now $12,000 off and get 0% for 60 months. And all these great deals include the Lincoln Conquest Trade Assist. And don't you forget, all Lincolns come with complimentary pickup and delivery service. So get some of those holiday savings right now at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,845. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Happy New Year from Life Church. This is Ross Steele, pastor at our Pendleton campus. You've heard the phrase, New Year, New You. It's usually referring to weight loss or financial goals. But we believe that this year can bring a new relationship with God and give your year more meaning, purpose, and fulfillment than you ever thought possible. Join us at one of our 4 Central Indiana locations to learn how to connect with God and what His Word says about your future. Visit lifechurchin.com for times and locations.
Keep your holiday celebration rolling the day after Christmas with exciting NBA action.
This is Halliburton again, and as he takes it to the hoop, he spins it in off the glass.
Be here when the lightning quick Pacers play Western Conference Force the Oklahoma City Thunder.
McConnell, right sideline Halliburton, one dribble and a rainbow three right through the middle. Wow.
It's your only chance to see the Pacers and Thunder meet at the Fieldhouse. Get your tickets at Pacers.com. Pacers Thunder, Thursday at 7.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Would you like fries with that? Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
When this old world starts getting me down and people...
Travis Kelce set an NFL record yesterday, moved past Chiefs legend Tony Gonzalez for the most touchdown receptions in franchise history. Kansas City beat the Steelers 29-10, but fans got a reminder that he's more than just a football player, Jim. Were you aware of this?
I was. He's one of the top podcasters in the world. He's trying to mosey his way. I think he hosted a game show at one point. He's trying to get into acting. Yes.
Yeah. And Netflix on Christmas Day, they shared a sneak peek of the Adam Sandler comedy Happy Gilmore 2, which will be released in 2025, and Travis Kelce will be in that movie.
It's great to see you back, Mr. Gilmore.
There he is.
Yeah, baby!
We've only just begun.
Gilmore. Big Daddy.
Okay, so the preview for Happy Gilmore 2 gave you a first look at Kelce along with Shooter McGavin and others who are going to be in the movie from the first film. Am I incorrect that it's going to be on Netflix, right? It's not going to be in theaters?
Correct. This will be a straight to streaming movie for
Adam
Sandler, for many reasons. Well, I mean, this has become more common too.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it, what Adam Sandler's doing these days is going straight to a streaming platform because he's got a long-term development deal with Netflix. And the days of everything going to theaters first and then it used to come to HBO later, long gone. A lot of these just make sense to go straight to the streaming platform.
Obviously, Netflix wants to use it to try and up their subscriptions for it. But how are we feeling about Happy Gilmore too? Should they have just left it alone? Were there unanswered questions that we need a sequel?
I'm a sucker for every single one of these. They came out with that sequel to Dumb and Dumber. I was like, yes, I'm all in. Saw that one. It was absolutely terrible.
Right.
So they got me. I'm interested. I saw the trailer. I was like, I can't wait to see this. And in my mind, I should be saying, I can't wait to be massively disappointed by this.
Yeah, you could possibly be, because it's like we have to go back and see where are they now. Is there still this rivalry between Happy Gilmore and Shooter McGavin? Of course.
But
right?
It was so funny. So you try and recreate.
Yeah.
We don't know. And I was trying to think of all these great lines from the first Happy Gilmore, and unfortunately, most of the best ones I can't say on the air. But there were several that were so funny. When Adam Sandler says, "I was the only guy to take off his skate and stab somebody," or "You can trouble me for a warm glass of shut the hell up." If I saw myself in clothes like that, I'd have to kick my own ass.
There we go.
So there were some good lines from the first movie, and the first movie was very, very funny. And I am, shame on me, but I'm holding out hope that this one can also be very funny.
You're going to be the one. Well, the Netflix trick to try and get you to subscribe won't really work because you already are a subscriber. So it's going to be there for you.
Right. I can watch it if I want to. Not if I don't. I don't have to worry about paying $15 and seeing it in the movie theater.
Has there ever been a comedy sequel better than the original?
That would take some time for me to work. A comedy specifically. Because, are there a lot of comedy sequels?
Well, Coming to America too.
That was again. There's another great example of one that I was totally bamboozled on. I was in for Coming to America too. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. I love the original one. It came out. I watched it. I wanted to turn it off halfway through.
Yeah, I think a lot of people really want it to be good, but a lot of people got a bad feeling that maybe they're going to be highly disappointed.
The Austin Powers sequels.
Yeah.
Were as good as the original. I don't know if they were better, but they were as good as the original. So I found one for you. There's a comedy sequel. That's good.
You're right.
I had to go back 30 years to get one, but still, it was good.
It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC, and PNC has released their Christmas Price Index. They're the ones that tell you how much the 12 Days of Christmas cost every year.
I love it.
No surprise to anybody, the cost is up over 5%. And we'll talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Hey, holiday heroes. It's a special time of year at Shane Company. As a family business for 4 generations, we know firsthand that fine jewelry is the gift that says it all. From the engagement ring that says, "You're the one," to the diamond tennis bracelet that says, "Thank you for being you." We have the widest selection of fine jewelry gifts, in stock and ready to take home. Come pick out a pair of hand-matched diamond stud earrings or a necklace with a colorful gemstone. Check out our new Bloom collection, one of owner Tom Shane's favorites this year, featuring stunning sapphires, emeralds, or rubies. At Shane Company, every gift and every price range is crafted to our high-quality standards. We have jewelers working in every store to bring your gifts to life, making sure rings fit just right, setting center stones and engagement rings by hand, and engraving your pieces to make your gifts even more special. Your gifts will always be protected with our unmatched free lifetime warranty. Visit shaneco.com and come see us in store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, "Why would I put up with that?" Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah?
I can't tell my mom. She'll never understand. I mean, how was I supposed to know he would share it with the whole school?
You can't help what you don't know. Tell the teens in your life they can talk to you about what's happening online.
Hey, you know you can tell me anything, right?
Okay, I need to show you something.
Learn more about online safety at InternetCrimesAgainstKids.com. A message from the Indiana Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, sponsored by the Indiana State Police.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Were you born from 1945 to 1965? People born during these years are 5 times more likely to have hepatitis C. So even if you try to eat right, exercise, and take care of yourself, you could still have hepatitis C, a serious disease that's a leading cause of liver cancer. If you were born from 1945 to 65, you should get a blood test for hepatitis C. Treatments can cure this disease. Talk to your doctor about getting tested. A message from the CDC.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
Coming up in 2 minutes, 2 shootings and 6 people hurt on Christmas Day. Plus, the day before, the sheriff's deputies in northern Indiana shot and killed a man, and now the state police are investigating, and it's supposed to be cold, but it'll be anything but over the next few days. I'm Kurt Darling. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WYBC, WYBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Is Russia behind a deadly plane crash? Gianna Gelosi, Fox News. The death toll standing at 38 after yesterday's Azerbaijan Airlines plane crash in Central Asia. But now the Wall Street Journal is reporting that an aviation security firm believes the flight was likely shot down by Russian military air defense systems. Aviation experts suggesting the perforations in the plane's tail section look consistent with possible missile strikes. Kazakhstan's emergency ministry said 29 people survived. President Biden pledging more arms to Ukraine after a recent attack by Russia.
Russia's Christmas Day attacks on Ukraine have received widespread condemnation as President Biden vows to send more air defense missiles, saying he's directed the Department of Defense to continue its surge of weapons deliveries. The president saying, quote, "The purpose of this outrageous attack was to cut off the Ukrainian people's access to heat and electricity during winter and to jeopardize the safety of its grid." President-elect Trump's special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, also condemning the attack and says the U.S. is more resolved than ever to bring peace to the region. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
President-elect Donald Trump ratcheting up his threats to Panama as he names his U.S. ambassador to the country. Fox's Jared Halpern.
President-elect Trump says he'll nominate Miami-Dade, Florida County Commissioner Kevin Cabrera to serve as U.S. ambassador to Panama. In a statement announcing the pick, the president-elect says Cabrera has been instrumental in driving economic growth and fostering international cooperation. But Cabrera could find himself navigating rough diplomatic waters amid repeated warnings from President-elect Trump that the U.S. could retake control of the Panama Canal, accusing Panama of ripping off the U.S. and suggesting Chinese soldiers are illegally operating the canal. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Gunshots for Christmas. It's 46 and mostly cloudy downtown. I'm Kurt Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:02. On the east side.
It's devastating. A disturbance within the residence. Again, holidays. I don't know what the details are. Detectives will continue to work on that.
Shots fired on the east side of the city. It was all on Christmas morning. A man was killed in one shooting, and then a woman was killed in another shooting that was unrelated. And all 6 people were hurt, and police are still figuring out what happened, but they have a person detained. A man used a knife to stab an elderly woman. And that's what happened at a home on the Cass County, Carroll County line on Christmas Eve, which led to sheriff's deputies shooting and killing Christopher Evans.
The female is now stating that her neighbor is trying to kill her. She is bleeding profusely from her mouth and her head. She is very frantic.
Dispatch audio of the incident. State police are now handling the case. Several couples due to get married soon are scrambling to find a new place to get married now. That after the Sanctuary of Penn burned on Christmas Eve and had to be demolished downtown after the fire was put out. The wedding venue is one of the oldest standing buildings in downtown Indy, and it used to be a Lutheran church built back in 1875. Light rain will be falling on Indiana at times today, but Andrew White with the National Weather Service says that's not the only thing to watch out for.
On the northern half of the state, there's definitely going to be a little bit of fog through probably about 10 a.m., but not expecting the fog to be very dense. It should be, visibility won't be much of an issue with this.
And he says by this afternoon, temperatures will warm back up into the 50s. The Indiana Pacers guard Tyrese Halliburton says he knew that they would eventually figure out their early season struggles.
It comes down to connectedness, playing together, and we got so many guys, and we know where guys are going to be, so you just figure it out. But I think, our experience together has played a big part to that.
They host Oklahoma City tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm Kirk Darling on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 26th. It's 5 minutes after 10. It's the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. My name is Casey. Rob Kendall with the day off, and Jim Roberts is in the studio. By the way, we have to mention, somebody sent me a Christmas card here to the station, and it says, the Lord will bless his people with peace. This Christmas, may you be blessed with the joy of his presence and the quiet peace of the season. However, it was not signed, and it came from a P.O. box, so I have no idea who sent me this card.
An unsigned Christmas card with a return address label that had no name on it and a P.O. box.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it has, the thought is very nice, so thank you to whoever sent this from their P.O. box.
They wanted to stay anonymous.
They want to be anonymous, and that's the way they will remain, because I don't know who it's from.
We have no idea.
Yeah, but thank you for the card. That was very thoughtful. Let's talk about the PNC Christmas Price Index. Indicated the overall cost of the songs gifted at the 12 Days of Christmas increased 5.4%. totaling just under $50,000 increase. Of course, 12 Days of Christmas counts up from Christmas to Epiphany on January 6th. So today we are on the second day of Christmas.
So that'd be 2 turtle doves.
It would be 2 turtle doves, and that's an estimated $750. Now, the partridge in a pear tree cost about $160, with the pear tree cost rising since last year. Now, the PNC survey does want you to note that due to state variations because of taxes and regulations, some states are more expensive, some states are less expensive. For example, California, Hawaii, and Washington are the most expensive for the 12 Days of Christmas.
Makes sense.
Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama are the least expensive. Now, you've got 3 French horns. They're estimated at $347, which is a 5% increase. The 4 calling birds, they're estimated at just under $600. 4 calling birds is unchanged from last year.
I can buy 3 French horns for less than $400.
3 French hens.
For 3 French hens. Okay,
yeah,
okay, got it.
$347.
Yeah, okay.
Now, you've got the 5 gold rings, right?
Price of gold's pretty high right now.
Estimated at $1,245. And that's going to vary a little bit from state to state. 5 gold rings.
5 gold rings for $1,200?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're not 24 karat gold. They're probably 10 karat gold. An ounce of gold is around $2,000 these days. Okay, fine, I can justify it. Here's always been my issue with the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a lot of birds.
It is a lot
It's a lot of birds. In fact, I did some math and calculated this, and if you were to receive, somebody were to give you the 12 days of Christmas as lined up, it's a total of 184 birds. Now, I may be a fan of birds. I may own birds. Maybe I don't, but let's say I'm a big fan of birds and I like birds.
Yeah.
You're getting 184 new birds over a 12-day time span. It's too many birds.
You're going to need some newspaper, aren't you?
It's too many birds, right? Where do I even get newspaper anymore?
6 geese a laying is estimated at $900, and they are the second biggest increase of the 12 days of Christmas, a 15% increase.
Thanks, Biden. The price of geese is through the roof because of you, Biden.
Well, they are geese a laying, right? So you might get an egg, which would be better than what you can get at Costco right now because those have all been recalled.
Oh, geez, yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Because the salmonella. 7 swans of swimming, estimated at $13,000. No change on the price of swans,
Almost
by the way.
$2,000 a swan.
Mm-hmm. 8 maids of milking, $58, no change. 9 ladies dancing, 3% increase. It will cost you $8,557 for your 9 ladies dancing. Now you've got 10 lords of leaf. What, worth every penny?
No, I said no comment. So I'm not. There are too many jokes I could make there.
Smart.
And I will
Smart move.
leave them all in my mind.
Okay. 10 lords of leaping is the most expensive item. They cost $15,579.65, which is a 7.2% increase. And the one that increased the most at over 15.6% was the 11 Pipers Piping, which is an estimated $3,715.
When I think of a lord, I think of like some regal person in England,
like
right?
Prince William.
That's where we get lords, right? Can you imagine how much money? And those people are generally rich,
right?
At least in my mind, they're rich. Can you imagine how much money it would take to actually convince a lord to come over to your place and jump around? Yeah, I would think that would be the most expensive thing because I can't imagine many lords are going to want to do that. You're going to have to flash a lot of Benjamins in front of them to say, okay, fine, I'll
make it worth their time.
I'll come over and jump around in front of your house.
12 drummers drumming is an estimated $4,017 with a 15.6% increase from last year. Now, the total cost for 364 gifts.
That's the total of the 12 days.
That's the total. Okay. It's an estimated $209,272, which is a 3.6% increase from last year.
That'd be the worst $200,000 gift I could ever get.
The 12 days
the 12 days of Christmas. The lords a leaping, the ladies dancing, the maids a milking, 184 birds like we just talked about. You're to spend $200,000? Yeah. I can think of a lot of gifts I would rather receive for $200,000 than the 12 days of Christmas.
Now, Ethan, you pointed out something. You said that the 12 days of Christmas is more expensive now than it was during the pandemic?
Yes, actually, it was the cheapest that it had ever been since they started collecting the data in 1984. I'm going off of memory, but I think in 1984 the total cost was $22,000, $23,000, and by 2020 it dipped precipitously to about $20,000. I think it was less dollars. For all the 12 days of Christmas. And then, of course, it spiked back up after the pandemic. But I think it's because all those entertainers were out of work. So the lords of leaping and the maids milking.
They were charging less. They wanted the work. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it has increased 133% over the past 40 years. Of course, when you take into account things like inflation and the pandemic's economic impact, makes sense that the price is going to go up. So let's talk about inflation, right? What do we know? Why is inflation? Well, it's because the government keeps spending all sorts of money. So let's pick up where we left off. And that is with Festivus. The last time we were together was Festivus. But Rand Paul has released his Festivus list, and he has uncovered over $1 trillion in government waste in his yearly report. Let's take a listen to Rand Paul.
You know, I got a lot of problems with big spenders in both parties. And here's the thing, everywhere you look, you find more of this stuff. $1 trillion, that means we found a lot of waste. But it's everywhere. It's in all the big departments, in the Department of State. It's in NIH. It's in the National Science Foundation. And people wonder, why does it exist every year? We have this Department of Doge. Are they going to be able to get rid of it? Well, the only way to get rid of it is to spend less money. So if you give the National Science Foundation $4 billion one year, and then you increase it to $8 billion, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that you're going to get more waste, not less. This has been going on since the 70s, but it has exploded. But you have to be willing to cut spending for the overall department. NIH will have more waste if you give them more money. They spent $3 million studying what kids do when they look at ads for food on Facebook. So they had a whole bunch of kids look at ads for food on Facebook, and that was $3 million worth. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars to drill holes into cats' head, spin them around rapidly, and study motion sickness. Sounds more like animal cruelty than it actually sounds like an experiment, but the list goes on and on.
Okay, so he mentioned the ads on Facebook. The article here that I have says that it was $5 million. It was given to study children's reactions to Facebook ads about food. Empty government buildings. Government spent $10 billion on maintaining, leasing, and furnishing almost entirely empty buildings.
Yeah, Rand Paul's been doing this for a number of years, so this isn't the first time, and I love how he tied it into Festivus, and he's always called it his Festivus list.
Yeah.
And I think, and he references Doge, too. I'm all for the United States government using pop culture references more in everything they do. Festivus and Doge was, of course, a cryptocurrency. I want to see, something else. I don't know. Who's the tag team champion? Let's take all these pop culture references and make them into government programs.
Sesame Street in Iraq. $20 million was spent on Sesame Street in Iraq, promoting inclusion and mutual respect. Also, soccer promotion in Serbia and Maldives. $250,000 spent to promote soccer in other countries.
What European country needs help promoting soccer?
Right.
That's like saying, you know what? The NFL in the United States really could use a leg up. Maybe we can get Brazil to throw a couple nickels our way so we can help promote the NFL in the United States, the most popular sport by a mile.
Now, I know a lot of people enjoy pickleball, and there is $12 million was invested in a pickleball complex in Las Vegas, despite the community opposition due to it. They were concerned about the noise and the traffic, but the government said, yeah, here's $12 million. Make it happen anyway. A rat cocaine study. The Department of Health and Human Services spent over $400,000 on a study to determine.
Wait. Let me guess here. Well, you finish, and then I'm going to guess the outcome.
If lonely rats seek cocaine or more than happy rats. So if a lonely. What?
I'm going to guess if you give a rat cocaine, they're going to want more cocaine. That's my guess. They should have gotten it from the White House. Hey-o!
Yeah. So Rand Paul, he's pledged to reduce government waste in the coming year and working with Congress and the incoming Trump administration. And Rand Paul's been doing the Doge thing before Doge.
He was Doge before Doge was cool.
He was Doge before Doge was cool. There was a football game yesterday.
Huh?
A lot of people talking about the national anthem before the Ravens-Texans game. Many people are talking about what happened in the locker room with Patrick Mahomes and the coach dressing up as Santa. Many people talking about the halftime show. And the internet was divided over Beyonce's performance. So can we talk about that football game?
It was a spectacular Christmas day of football. If you were watching the NBA yesterday, you missed out. You made a poor choice. We're going to talk football.
It's coming up from 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC.
Rainfall is expected all over Indiana today.
We're going to continue to slightly warm up each day going into Saturday. Temperatures in the low 60s.
Hear the news.
Shootings on Christmas Day.
Family gathering, friends, just devastating.
Another news update is minutes away.
3.05 a gallon is the statewide average. Notre Dame Fighting Irish preparing for Georgia in the college football playoff on New Year's Day at the Sugar Bowl.
We'll prepare for anything.
93 WIBC Mobile News.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indy. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indy, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indy, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndy.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndy.com. and grow your hair back today.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson with Stevenson Heating and Cooling, wishing you happy holidays. As a veteran-owned company, we know how important family is and want to say thank you for your continued support and business. We are always here for your heating and cooling needs, 317-557-8532. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
My prayer is to linger with you.
So the Ravens and the Texans played yesterday, NFL action on Netflix, and there was a lot of people commenting. They must have had great viewership for this game.
They did. In fact, Netflix already has released some information about how many people watched it. It was the second highest viewed live event Netflix has ever done. It was only second to the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight.
Okay. Did they have the technical problems that they had during the Tyson-Paul fight?
They did, but not nearly as many.
Yeah.
And in fact, there was a little bit of grumbling in a few spaces about people that were having connection problems. We had Netflix on the football all day yesterday, from pregame until the end of the second game, postgame, and never had a technical problem once.
So it started off with the national anthem, and Pentatonics performed, and they sang it. They're a Grammy-winning a cappella group, and they did this, and they apparently stunned a lot of fans with their harmonies and their vocal bass, because people on social media were giving them nothing but praise, saying how amazing it was. Let's take a listen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' bright glance, the bombs bursting in us, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
little longer of a clip, but, it is the national anthem, so we're going to let that baby go. But they formed as a group in 2011, Pentatonics, and they formed to compete on NBC's The Sing-Off, which they won. And they have since gone on to win 3 Grammy Awards. They've received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And the reactions on social media and even some of the players at the game were saying things like, they're awesome, super fire. That was awesome. I just downloaded the album of their greatest hits to Spotify. So kudos to them. I thought it sounded really, really good.
Spectacular. And yeah, when you watched the game yesterday and they were singing that national anthem, they did go to some shots of the players standing on the sidelines, and you could see the visible reaction on their face, like eyebrows raised, like some people even mouthing the words, wow. Everybody was impressed by it. And it is the single most thankless job for any singer, is singing the national anthem at a high-profile event like that. Number one, really tough song to sing, very hard song to sing, and you're going to get a ton of critics on either side. But this one, universally praised and recognized as a spectacular performance. And some people I even saw some chatter on Twitter that people were putting it up there with Whitney Houston's famous singing of the national anthem before the Super Bowl.
You know what? Regardless of your talent level, it's the national anthem. So you have to give it your best.
Sure.
And try to reach to that point and be respectful and give it its due.
And so many singers try to put their own twist on it, which is dangerous. You better be able to pull it off. And they did a little bit. There was some harmonizing, and I don't know the musical terms for it, but there was a little bit of a twist, especially at the end. But they were able to pull it off, and it sounded great. It was one of the highlights of yesterday's football games.
So the Chiefs coach, Andy Reid, he dressed up as Santa in the locker room after their win over the Steelers. And did that did that take the shine away from Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in their big red shiny suits that they had on, their coats?
There was a lot of fun and a lot of nonsense. So the Thanksgiving games, there's been a tradition of the Thanksgiving games where they talk about the turducken, and then they bring out famously the 6-legged turkey, and they'll give turkey legs to the winners. And so this was Netflix's first ever live NFL game. And I think they were trying to do some things similar to that, but put their own spin on it. And so at the end of the game, they were interviewing Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on the sidelines, and they wrapped them in these big, shiny Santa jackets is what they were supposed to look like. And keep in mind, these guys are still wearing their shoulder pads.
Well, right. They were nice and big. They could fit over their...
So they had to be these massive jackets that fit over their shoulder pads. And they were this shiny red and had this white fur on it. And so that was fun. They created these football cakes. They essentially baked a red velvet cake in the shape of a football and covered it in chocolate, and the players that were, came off at part of the interview and were supposed to crack it open and eat it, and they did that, and that was fun. And then they go to the locker room, and in come Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes wearing their Santa jackets, and then in walks Andy Reid in an absolutely head-to-toe Santa costume with such a large fake beard you couldn't even see his face.
Yeah, here's Patrick Mahomes. He's talking about Andy Reid dressing up as Santa. It's number 14, Ethan.
I believe my first year, maybe when I was not starting, he might have done it, but he fits the role perfectly. He's getting kind of skinny though. Like he's kind of getting skinny for the Santa. So we gotta maybe it's good for his health. So he'll be a skinny Santa from now on.
He may be the only person that would describe Andy Reid as skinny. Look, Andy may not be as big as he used to be, but Andy Reid's still a big dude.
And then it was the halftime of the show, which also got a lot of talk online, a lot of debate. And we're talking about the Beyonce performance. And some people saying, I made the mistake of watching the halftime show during the Texans game. That was awful. Beyonce was a disaster. Other people saying it was garbage. Couldn't understand a word she said. Some people saying, I refuse. Complete mess. Disgusting. The NFL is a joke. She should never attempt to sing Jolene. And then there were other people on the other side who were praising her, saying that it was fantastic and her performance was legendary. Some people saying Rihanna's halftime performance is better than this, way better. So I guess it's really, politics coming into play in this, definitely. A lot of people also saying that Beyonce shouldn't have been there, considering the allegations against her husband, who's been accused of raping a young child at this point.
Yeah, she and Jay-Z have gotten dragged into the Diddy accusations. Now, they're old accusations, but they've are old, alleged old events, but have just recently come up and become accusations again.
So somebody said, like, listen to this. Beyonce really out here redefining what it means to be legendary. This performance is iconic. Somebody else says, when Beyonce enters her cowboy era, the world just has to bow down. And then there's the other people saying, no, that was garbage, complete mess.
Look, I'm somebody that can separate the politics from the performer pretty easily. Beyonce is a heck of a singer and a heck of a performer, and it was an entertaining halftime show.
Yeah.
Are her politics a total disaster? Of course they are. It'll be interesting to see who paid. I think Rob Kendall tweeted this out yesterday. Who paid Beyonce more, Kamala Harris or the NFL?
Well, the interesting thing, when Kamala paid her, she didn't perform. When the NFL paid her, she did.
And the NFL typically does not pay. Famously, the NFL does not pay its Super Bowl performers. I don't know if that is true for its Christmas Day halftime performers, but it's entirely possible that Kamala had to pay her a couple of $1 million just for a speaking fee, and the NFL got her to perform for free.
It is the Kendall Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Breathe in the wonder and joy of Christmas, where the extraordinary often shines through the ordinary moments, through kindness, care, and compassion. At Franciscan Health, we provide care rooted in faith, love, and dignity, and believe life is a gift and every moment is extraordinary. So take a breath and give thanks as we celebrate the birth of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Merry Christmas. Franciscan Health. Love your extraordinary life.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Condemning a Christmas attack. It's 46 degrees and cloudy downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 10:30. Russia did not take a break from its war with Ukraine for Christmas. Fox's Ryan Schmelz.
Russia's Christmas Day attacks on Ukraine have received widespread condemnation as President Biden vows to send more air defense missiles, saying he's directed the Department of Defense to continue its surge of weapons deliveries. President-elect Trump's special envoy for Ukraine and Russia, Keith Kellogg, also condemning the attack and says the U.S. is more resolved than ever to bring peace to the region. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Holiday travel is ramping back up. A record number of people are expected to be on the road and at airports on this day after Christmas. AAA says about 120 million people will be traveling 50 miles or more through January 1st, which is back to pre-pandemic levels. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
I had the ring already. She had made it very clear what kind of ring she wanted.
Yep.
I pretended that I was going to kneel and picked up a pine cone instead of pulling out a ring.
What a jerk. But when I saw that ring, I was like, oh, he did good.
I really love Amy. I really, really genuinely love Amy.
I love you too.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for LD Smith Plumbing, and many times the holidays are when sewer stoppages must be dealt with, and the best of the best for that job is LD Smith Plumbing. They have the perfect equipment and the right people to clean your drains, or help you replace them if they're uncleanable because they're broken down. Best of all, they'll fix your sewer drains with modern piping that will last for decades to come. They clean up the dirty and stinky jobs with plumbing solutions that work. Find them online at ldsmithplumbing.com. That's ldsmithplumbing.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
In sports, only one team walks away with the W.
Only one team gets the trophy.
And only one player is named MVP.
But that doesn't mean everyone else who competed leaves empty-handed. I'm Allie Ward from Boonville High School.
And I'm Caleb Ferguson from Columbus North High School. In education-based athletics, no matter who comes out on top, every student-athlete walks away having grown as a person.
Every team walks away learning invaluable life lessons.
From responsibility to collaboration to integrity.
We're thankful to have coaches and mentors who always prioritize learning and growing over winning at all costs.
They're helping us build a mentality of development that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty. Be a champion of high school sports and the growth mindset they develop by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is keeping education in front of athletics. This is the second classroom. This is your IHSAA.
The financial advisor industry is a flawed system. Find out how to fight back and protect your retirement on Expedition Retirement. Sunday mornings at 7 on WIBC.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. It's time to hear from you. Kendall and Casey present Voicemails.
The phone number, 317-684-8444. If you'd like to contribute with your questions, comments, or smart remarks, it's time for your voicemails. It is the Thursday edition, the post-Christmas edition of your voicemails with Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC. My name is Casey. Rob Kendall has the day off, and Jim Roberts is hanging out in the studio with me today. And this just announced, by the way, that Marianne Williamson, you might recall that name. Marianne
Give
Williamson.
us a refresher.
She ran for president. Democrat.
She against in the primary this year against Biden. Okay.
Yes. And she just said that she's proud to announce that she's running for chair of the DNC. In order to respond to the challenge of this moment, the Democrat Party needs transformation. She went on to say that the MAGA movement is a 21st century political movement and will not be defeated by a 20th century toolkit.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good line.
But really, isn't this just more grift?
Yeah, she's just moving from one thing to the next. Again, typical career politician. You ran for president, that didn't work out for you, so now you're going to run for the head of the DNC. And if this doesn't work out, I'm sure you'll find some other government job.
You know who that sounds like?
Who?
Destiny Wells.
She is. She's the...
ran for Secretary of State, lost. Ran for Attorney General, lost. Well, maybe I'll just be in charge of the Democrat Party in Indiana.
Yeah, very, very similar. Just, again, another career politician, not working in the private sector, creating anything useful for consumers or the public, going from one government grift to the next.
All right, let's get to a phone call. This one is about a new Christmas tradition involving cupcakes.
Hey, good morning, wonderful morning, people. Well, folks, if you want to add additional color to your holiday, whether it be Kwanzaa or Christmas or, of course, Hanukkah, may I suggest something? We just have had a Kroger cupcake Christmas, and you want to add new color in places that you won't expect it to be at. Do this. Have yourself either heavily iced Kroger cake or cupcake, and it will add color in places you don't expect. That's something to do with the icing, I understand. I know this is something that might be discussed on Hammer and Nigel, but I think maybe the morning team will be able to kind of breach some of these subjects.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody go out there. I know there's some left. Maybe you can get a good price on them now. Have yourself a Kroger Cupcake Christmas and add new color to your holiday.
Thanks, Tom, for the call. I know what he's talking about there.
Oh, yeah? You read between the lines on that one?
Yeah. When you eat things that have food dye in them, it turns lots of things different colors.
I don't think that's going to be in the new Kroger commercial for their cupcakes.
Right.
Here's what you've got. Well, thank you, Tom, for calling in and giving us that little tidbit. It almost sounds like he was happy to have that discovery. Like this is something new. Like, hey, I'm going to eat these Kroger cupcakes just for this end result, so to speak.
And get to the bottom of things.
Yeah,
we?
Kendall and Casey show, always getting to the bottom of things.
I like how he said this is maybe something more for Hammer and Nigel to talk about.
Here's the worst part about all of it. I'm such a cynical person and so distrusting of everybody that as soon as he mentioned that, I'm like, that can't be real, but I better try it out myself to see. Like, I prove it.
Yeah.
Prove it to me. I might have to prove it to myself.
So you're going to have to make a Kroger run and get some cupcakes?
Yeah, maybe.
No, we don't need more food in the house. We do not need more food. Here's another phone call. This one is about Matt Gaetz and the report from the Ethics Committee.
You guys brought up a story on Matt Gaetz. I've never been a big Matt Gaetz fan. If the accusations are true, then please get out of politics. What I'd like to do, though, is without setting up committees to find out if the dirt on the rest of the people in the House or the Senate, boy, I tell you, I'd need about 55-gallon wetbacks for the dirt that I could scoop up on every one of the House members and every one of the senators. So, you know, as we trot through this thing that's getting ready to become the presidency of Donald Trump, I hope that we can at least get a screen on the cover and maybe filter through some of the dirt that's in there.
Yeah.
But it'll probably never happen, so good luck with your sex parties that you have in Washington, and then keep enjoying yourselves because I don't see much of a change coming up. But thank you for everything you guys do, man. I appreciate y'all. See ya.
Okay, so he's talking about former Rep. Matt Gaetz, Florida Republican. He briefly was going to be Donald Trump's nominee to be Attorney General. And then the congressional ethics investigators put out this report saying that he paid numerous women, including a 17-year-old, for sex. And also he purchased illegal drugs, including from his Capitol Hill office. Now, it has since come out that one of his main accusers appears to be in prison for falsely accusing someone else of the exact same stuff. But here's the thing. Does anybody find the irony that there is an ethics committee in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah, right.
I mean, these are some of the most unethical people ever.
Certainly, and we appreciate the call and thank you. I do dislike the moral equivalency argument. Yeah, Matt Gaetz did allegedly did some awful things, but everybody in Congress does awful things. Well, you know what? We'll get to everybody else, but we still have time to trash Matt Gaetz because if these allegations are true, he's an absolute dirtball and should be nowhere near politics again and should just go away from public life. Yes, there may be tons of other politicians on both sides of the aisle doing unethical things, and we should investigate them. And if it turns out to be true, we'll rip them as well.
Here's another phone call. This one is about Carrie Lake and Voice of America.
I just want to make a comment on downsizing the government. I read in the paper last night. Yes, Rob, we still have newspapers. That Trump was some woman I never heard of, the head of Voice of America. And that piqued my interest because being a survivor of the Cold War, I know Voice of America was created to broadcast the truth behind the Iron Curtain, or at least the truth as we see it, and help enlighten those people that are trapped in godless communism. Well, Berlin Wall fell 25 years ago, 45 years ago, and everybody's got the internet. So rather than appointing somebody the new chairman of the Voice of America as a political reward job, why do we still have the Voice of America? Because when government agencies are created, they never die. Unless they're broadcasting signals into deep space looking for alien life, I don't see it serves a purpose memory serves me well, it's an AM radio transmission system. Nobody uses AM radio anymore. So there's the first thing they should cut. Once he's appointed her, she needs to go in there and go, everybody turn off the lights, you're out, you're fired, moving on to something else. Talk to you later.
Okay, so he's talking about Carrie Lake. She's a former broadcast journalist who unsuccessfully ran for governor and for a U.S. Senate seat in Arizona. And Donald Trump selected her to head this international broadcast organization, Voice of America. Voice of America is part of the U.S. Agency for Global Media. It broadcasts news internationally in 49 languages on the radio, on TV, and online. And according to them, their website, they have an audience of an estimated 354 million people per week, and it is allegedly run by an independent federal agency. But he does have a point that the point of Voice of America was to be broadcast into communist countries to turn their opinion.
Yeah.
And once you have somebody in the government, they seem to never leave, and organizations like this just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
He brings up a really good point that, Donald Trump's doing a lot of appointments for a lot of different agencies and different departments in the federal government. And if Elon and Vivek have their way, a lot of these agencies may not exist very long. So fingers crossed here that Carrie Lake doesn't have that job for very long, because the entire entity should probably go away and isn't worth the money we're spending right now.
She did say that she has no plans or intention to turn Voice of America into Trump TV or MAGA TV, and that's not what it's about. That's not what Voice of America is.
I think Elon and Vivek's intention is to probably turn it off and have it go away, and it probably should go away. He brings up a great point. There's a lot of government appointees that are taking place right now from the Trump administration, and it's entirely possible that those people may just kind of legislate themselves out of a job.
I don't see it going away. I mean, it's a avenue, a media for more conservative messaging. So, come on, Donald Trump's going to get rid of something like that? No way.
If Elon and Vivek want to cut $2 trillion worth of expenses, every single thing needs to be on the table as a potential cut.
One more phone call, and this one is from Gert.
Hey, people. It's Gert. I've been thinking about this for a couple of days. I think it might be a good thing that Biden fell asleep at that meeting in Africa, because if he's asleep, he can't put his foot in his mouth and say something stupid or screw up people's names or events. Anyway, that's my thought. Love you guys. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Thank you for the phone call. So she's right. If he's sleeping, he's not talking or doing.
It's good to hear from Gert. Seems like we haven't heard from her in a while, so I'm glad that she's doing okay, and hope she had a good Christmas. And she's absolutely right about that. Biden, similar to what I said earlier when we talked about Biden signing a declaration that the bald eagle will be the official American bird. Great. Do that. Do these ceremonial trips to Africa.
And that's it.
Quit spending our money. Quit trying to cancel student loan debt. Quit handing out pardons to everybody that's ever committed a crime. Just do these, just busy work for the next 26 days.
Or just take a nap. He actually just released a drone video in the White House of all of the Christmas decorations. Did you see it?
I did not see that. Biden released it?
The White House released it.
Okay.
But what they should do is they should take that drone that they sent all over the White House to give you a bird's eye view of all the Christmas decorations, send it to New Jersey.
Right. There's lots of drones going on there. That drone wants to be with its buddies.
Right. Send that drone with his friends.
In New Jersey.
Find out what's going on there. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel back Thursday. Gun Guy filling in for Hammer. We'll go off the rails with Rob Kendall at 5:30. All the fun starts a little bit after the news at 3. 93 WIBC.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks like to start a new exercise program at the beginning of the year in January. But here's an opportunity you really need to grab while it's here. If you'll sign up for and attend a free consultation at Exercise Inc. now, in the month of December, not only will you get the consultation for free, but you'll also get 2 free sessions to boot. So why wait until January? Exercise Inc. is the real deal, and they've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals. And they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You just got to try this health and exercise approach. And remember, this December only offer. Right now, get a free consultation. After you get the free consultation in December, they'll give you 2 free sessions to use going forward. Go to exerciseinc.com today and sign up for a free December consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, Greenwood, now in Fishers. Change your life in just 20 minutes a week? You betcha. But don't wait until January to do it. exerciseinc.com.
Let's talk about something that's on everyone's mind, staying safe online. From tech scams to data leaks, we've all heard the horror stories. But here's the good news. McAfee Total Protection has your back. Hey there, it's Casey Daniels. With McAfee Total Protection, you won't have to wonder if that text message is a scam, if new threats will pop up on your PC, or if you're safe from identity theft. Visit McAfee.com/online protection today to get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 your first year. Not a tech expert? No problem. McAfee makes it simple to protect yourself from even the sneakiest online scammers. You can shop, bank, and stream online with confidence. McAfee's got your devices, your privacy, and your identity covered. Right now, get award-winning online protection for just $39.99 for your first year. That's right, $39.99. So visit McAfee.com/online protection. Stay safe online, worry less. Cancel anytime. Terms apply.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and stop smoking without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Early bird special only $49.99 guaranteed. Also, lose all the weight and let Mark Patrick Hypnosis destroy unwanted cravings. Seminars Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30 p.m., stop smoking seminar at 8. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Happy New Year from Life Church. This is Ross Steele, pastor at our Pendleton campus. You've heard the phrase, New Year, New You. It's usually referring to weight loss or financial goals. But we believe that this year can bring a new relationship with God and give your year more meaning, purpose, and fulfillment than you ever thought possible. Join us at one of our 4 Central Indiana locations to learn how to connect with God and what His Word says about your future. Visit lifechurchin.com for times and locations.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
A company called Silverside AI created an ad for Coca-Cola. Yeah, that Coca-Cola. And they were asked to bring the classic Coca-Cola holidays are coming back ad back through AI. And you might recall the holidays are coming ad.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming.
So in this ad, it's you can keep it going, Ethan. Nice little song we can talk over. But it's been AI generated. So a full 60-second ad, and in it you'll see the polar bear, there's deer with antlers. It's all the Coca-Cola trucks all lit up, and they're driving through snow-covered roads and trees, and they've got dog barking, squirrels, not Peanut the squirrel, but just other squirrels. There's snowmen, raccoons, and then it goes up into space with a spaceship, and it's got polar bears watching a television, and the Coke semi driving through. It looks to be like a Christmas village, and then on a bridge and through a city. And then, of course, Santa's sleigh at the very end with the Coke logo twisting around through a bunch of AI-generated stars. So there's a little bit of discussion about this because the entire ad created through AI, and Silverside AI says that they're a global reach and scale company. They have AI labs in San Francisco, New York, Berlin, and Munich, and they have backed 30 different brands and offices, 6,000 creatives working for them, and they, represent a lot of different brands. And they say they're empowering creatives and the world to dream. They're harnessing the AI revolution to enhance human creativity and help humans do what they do best, which is dream big and solve even bigger problems. Well, I don't know if they're solving any problems with this Coca-Cola ad. It's very aesthetically pleasing. I mean, the animals in it are cute. They're little baby animals, and they look adorable. But is that what we've come to? Our products are being shilled to us through AI.
It looks just like a digitally animated commercial, which Coca-Cola has done a lot of in the past, like the polar bears, the famous polar bears commercial. Those were just digital animations in the past. It looks the same as that. No one had a problem when there were digital animations done with the polar bears. Now all of a sudden you say, oh, this one's AI generated. Looks exactly the same as the other commercials, but that's when people start to lose their minds. I don't get why there would be a problem because this one is generated via AI.
Well, I think the problem may be because with digital animation, that's still done by humans. It's still a human on the other end designing that and determining it. With AI, it's not even a human touch.
Humans used to do math with pen and paper too, and now we use supercomputers to do math. I maybe I'm going to be controversial here. I don't understand what the problem with this commercial being generated by AI is. So no humans touched it. That's fine. I'll make an analogy to the college football playoffs that we talked about on Monday.
Yeah.
People complain. The BCS, the old system everyone complained about, was done by computers. Everybody said you should put humans into it. As soon as humans got into it, everybody's like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Let's go back to those computers.
Companies are lining up to fund Trump's inauguration, and we're going to talk about that coming up from 93 WIBC.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Attention.
If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
This is Kevin and Kim at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. This special time of the year, family is important, and we are here to keep yours warm and happy, just like we have for 40 years.
We appreciate your business throughout the year, and we are always here for you if you need us. So from our family and our entire team at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Reinhardt is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Planning to propose this holiday? Shane Company is ready to help you find your dream engagement ring. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds and colorful gemstones in all shapes and sizes. So when you walk in the door, you can trust your rock is in stock. At Shane Company, we've always sourced directly, cut out the middleman, and pass the savings on to you. We work with your budget, not against it. We'll also protect your ring for life with our free unmatched lifetime warranty. Come see us at shaneco.com and in-store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Coming up in 2 minutes, police have made an arrest in the shooting of 5 people from Christmas Day. Plus, John Herrick reports on the warm weather expected for the new year. And with 2 games left, the Colts are still eyeing a playoff spot. That and more coming up from the Technology Recycler Studios after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
Is Russia to blame? I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. More than 30 passengers are dead after an Azerbaijani Airlines flight crashed near the city of Aktau in Kazakhstan on Wednesday, and some aviation and Ukrainian officials are placing the blame for that deadly crash on Russia.
Some officials are blaming Russian anti-aircraft fire. The Wall Street Journal reporting that an aviation security firm believes the flight was likely shot down by a Russian military air defense system after it evaluated the footage of the crash, damage to the aircraft, and recent military activity. And some aviation experts have suggested that the perforations in the plane's tail section looked consistent with a possible missile strike or the work of air defense. This crash did come shortly after drone strikes hit southern Russia Wednesday morning, and drone activity, of course, has shut down airports in that area in the past.
Fox's Chanley Painter, now a Kremlin spokesperson, says it would be wrong to speculate on the cause of the crash until the official investigation concludes. Folks across southern Asia and eastern Africa are gathering to remember hundreds of thousands of victims in one of the worst disasters of modern times.
Ceremonies and prayers in Indonesia. An earthquake on this day in 2004 off the coast of Sumatra triggered perhaps the worst tsunami of recent history, striking communities around the Indian Ocean from Africa's east coast to the islands of Oceania, killing an estimated 230,000 people in floods, folding houses, and collapsing roadways. The number of dead made it near impossible to identify all victims, with tens of thousands eventually placed in mass graves. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Pope Francis visiting one of the biggest prisons in Italy today. Upon getting there, he opened a special holy door for the Catholic Church's 2025 Jubilee. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
An arrest made. It's mostly cloudy, 47 degrees downtown. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:02. 6 people shot on the east side of Indy on Christmas Day, 5 of them in one shooting at a home near 46th and Shadeland.
Officers then immediately went into the home to clear that home and ensure that an active shooter was not actively harming any other persons.
Officer Tommy Thompson, one of the people shot there, a woman, was killed. A man was also killed in a separate shooting nearby. Police have arrested Andres Sanchez Garzon for the shooting that killed the woman. A man shot to death by sheriff's deputies in northern Indiana Christmas Eve. It was at a home right on the Cass County, Carroll County line.
Let's look down. Came out with a knife.
Dispatch audio as the incident unfolded. The man that the deputies shot is said to have stabbed an elderly woman beforehand. Christopher Evans was the man killed. State police are now looking into it. A calendar that says it's December, but it's not going to feel that way. John Herrick explains.
That's because it's about to be warmer than average.
We're going to continue to slightly warm up each day going into Saturday, where a good chunk of the state could see temperatures in the low 60s for Saturday.
Andrew White with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says once the new year arrives, temperatures will start to drop into the 30s. There is a chance for rain at times this weekend, but no snow expected. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
Rockstar Pizza in Brownsburg is donating all its proceeds from sales on Christmas Day to its employees. Owners Ron and Colby Matthews say there were 13 employees who volunteered to work yesterday, and over 200 pizza orders were taken. Employees say they're going to be making about $500 to $700. The Colts are still eyeing a wild card spot in the playoffs.
We still have an opportunity, with some help from other people, but we're just taking it one game at a time.
Quarterback Anthony Richardson, the team battles the New York Giants at MetLife Stadium Sunday afternoon. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Good morning. It is Thursday, December 26th. It's 5 minutes after 11 with the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC. My name is Casey Daniels. Rob Kendall has the day off, and Jim Roberts is in the studio with me. And let's talk about Donald Trump and his inauguration donations. It is set to surpass ceremonies both in fundraising and contributions with a bunch of high-profile companies. So Toyota, Ford, and General Motors have each donated $1 million, and they're also going to provide vehicles for the ceremony.
Nice.
And there's some Silicon Valley companies like Amazon, Meta, and OpenAI. They've pledged $1 million. And Uber is saying that they're going to donate $2 million. And some of the donations are coming from the CEOs personally. You also have Goldman Sachs and Bank of America donating money, AT&T and Intuit and Charter Communications, Stanley Black & Decker also donating big money to Trump's inauguration. So this is a big political shift. A lot of these companies suspended their political donations, and now they're getting on the Trump train.
These companies they're going to follow the political winds when they shift. They were able to, like you said, a lot of these companies pulled their donations after the January 6th incident, and they stood up on their high horses and got almighty, and that is not the type of democracy we're going to be supporting. That was a pretty easy statement to make back then when you thought Donald Trump's political career was completely over. And now that he's back in office again, they're lining up with their checkbooks out. Hey, remember us?
Yeah, hi.
Hey, we'd love to give you some money for that inauguration, and of course, love to have a chat with you about what's important to us and our business.
Right. Does this check also give me the opportunity to lobby you?
At the end of the day, and we saw this a lot during COVID, where these companies were putting through these DEI programs and virtue signaling on all these things, but now the political winds have shifted. These companies are going to do what's best for their bottom line. So this is absolutely no surprise that companies are coming back because the political moves and winds have shifted dramatically.
Yeah, companies, they're definitely aiming to earn some goodwill with Trump as they hope to improve their standing in the new administration. Trump's inauguration on track to raise more money than Joe Biden's 21 inauguration, and that's an indication that businesses may view Trump as a more transactional figure, or perhaps they just see they need to get on board and play the game, or they're going to be left out.
I think that's probably a big part of it. They know that Trump's here. He's going to be here for the next 4 years. He came in with, some people call it a landslide. It's certainly a landslide in modern political terms when the country split completely 50-50. When you win the House, the Senate, the popular vote, the Electoral College, yeah, we can call that a landslide. You're starting to see a lot of these things shift, and now all of a sudden a lot of people and a lot of companies are coming down off of that high horse and coming down off of those sanctimonious statements that they put out years ago and getting on board with the program.
So AmFest was held in Phoenix, and it was put on by Turning Point, and we played a lot of audio clips from Donald Trump when he appeared at that event, and that happened before Christmas. But in case you missed this speech from Rob Schneider, yes, comedic actor, here it is. He's telling Democrats why they lost.
Democrats, you lost because you tried to convince the American people that it was racisty to close the border and not let people come in illegally to rob and murder them. You lost because nobody gives a f*** about the term Latinx. You lost because your Justice Department called parents who showed up at school board meetings terrorists just for not wanting pornography in their children's classrooms. You lost, Democrats, you lost because you lied about January 6th, calling it worse than Pearl Harbor or 9/11, instead of what January 6th really was, the FBI guided tour of the Capitol building. You lost, Democrats, because men can't have babies, women don't have dicks, even if they play in the WNBA. And free speech isn't a privilege like a driver's license. It's a God-given right guaranteed by our Constitution.
So a lot of people are comparing this to Ricky Gervais's opening monologue at the Golden Globes when he just called out everybody, but I can't listen to Rob Schneider without wanting to say, you can do it.
No, see, that's fun. And God bless Rob Schneider. He said some great things. It was a very entertaining speech. He will always be the making copies guy from Saturday Night Live.
Oh,
I expect him to sit here, and he was ranting about January 6th and then to follow it up by Trumpster making copies.
Right. So all American airline flights were halted for about an hour on Christmas Eve morning due to what they said was a technical issue. Ugh. They cited a vendor technology issue, and it briefly affected systems that needed to release their flights. Can you imagine?
Look,
it's Christmas Eve, you're at the airport, and all of a sudden you hear the announcement, your flight has been canceled.
Air travel on a good day, flying is an absolutely miserable experience right now, and has been since COVID. I mean, customer service is terrible at most of these airlines. The world is still broken in a lot of ways on a good day, and here you've got Christmas Eve. pretty important travel day. And you're sitting at the airport and you've got a technical glitch and you're not getting anywhere. Twitter and TikTok were full of videos and tweets from people that just didn't make it home for Christmas, that were stuck in connecting cities. That's the hardest part. You know, let's say you're flying from, Charlotte to Phoenix and you've got to stop over in Atlanta. It's when your flight gets canceled while you're in Atlanta, a strange city. I've got no hotel accommodations.
Right.
I've got no vehicle to get me anywhere, and I'm kind of stuck here. And I saw a lot of those videos of people that were stuck in connecting cities and stuck there overnight.
And some people were actually on a plane and they had to get off the plane. What a hassle that is. By 8 a.m., over 300 flights were delayed nationwide. They were especially in East Coast airports like JFK and Logan International. But by 6 p.m., nearly 650 flights were delayed. And Christmas Eve, they're saying it's typically a lighter air travel day, but nearly 2 million passengers flew on Christmas Eve last year. So that's just...
This is why we don't fly that much anymore.
Awful, man.
We really
Put
don't
me in
fly
my
that
car. I've got control of where I'm going, when I can stop. I have control of the music, the snacking, everything.
You can stop every 90 minutes and get a new coffee.
It's true.
Which you like to do, and that's fine, but that's the way we like to do it.
It's just
and we've been making a lot of long road trips lately, and I still have, it's 10 hours for us to drive to family on the East Coast. I'm happy to do that. All the 10 hours there and 10 hours back. Happy to do that.
I'd still rather do that than put in 6 to 7 hours driving to the airport, going through security, flying.
Sitting around and waiting.
Flying,
travel delays, all the problems.
Then you got to rent a car on the other end if you want to drive anywhere. Oh, man. So American Airlines, they've previously boasted about their on-time performance, especially for the holiday season, claiming that they were on time with their departures. Well, I guess they can't claim that anymore. And, of course, this on the heels of last year. Southwest Airlines had that complete meltdown. You remember?
Yeah. Oh,
and that
I remember.
led to that $140 million fee and trying to rebuild their customer trust. If you're one of those people that was stuck at an airport on Christmas Eve, are you ever going to turn to that airline again?
It's going to these airlines, but here's the problem. Which one are you going to go to? They're all
My
bad.
car.
They're all bad. Okay, that's then your option becomes a different form of transportation. Is Amtrak still run? How are the trains these days? Maybe I'll have to start investigating that.
So Hoosiers, how many Hoosiers were traveling this Christmas? AAA said they expected 2.8 million people in Indiana to travel 50 miles or more from home, which is a 4.5 increase from last year.
I'm proud to say
in their car.
I did not travel even outside of my house for Christmas. It was wonderful. It was fantastic.
It was a soft pants day.
Didn't even get the mail. Nothing. It was wonderful. Doors closed in my house. Happy as can be.
Let's talk about some of the biggest stories in Indianapolis over the past year. We'll just do some of the high level stories that hit. Of course, we got to talk about Hogsett, right? And Thomas Carl Cook and all of
that was a big story. Still is.
Sexual harassment claims, right? City Hall rocked by all these allegations. Of course, you had the election, Mike Braun winning the governor's race in a landslide, and Micah Beckwith not being Braun's first choice as a running mate, but being chosen at the party convention by the delegates. Braun, of course, focusing on what he calls the kitchen table issues, like property taxes. You also had Caitlin Clark as a big story, selected by the Indiana Fever. #1 overall pick in this year's WNBA draft.
We had a big year.
We did have a
when
big
you
year.
recap it and list it all out like this, there's a lot going on in the state of Indiana this year, good and bad.
In more sporting news, you had Indy's MLS push. You remember Hogsett came out? We're going to have a soccer team here.
I do remember.
Any word on that?
Yeah, Indianapolis
Where we stand on that,
is not getting a major league soccer team. I'd love it. Look, I'm a soccer fan, a fairly new soccer fan, and so I enjoy it. I would love to have Indianapolis get an MLS team. There's no chance Indianapolis is getting an MLS team. It's not happening. It's all a big song and dance, and they're going to go to bigger cities on the West Coast.
Some other big stories, of course, the Taylor Swift concert, the Eras Tour, making its final stop here in Indianapolis, and the giant-sized
72-story Taylor Swift cling on the JW Marriott.
Cling, yeah, I guess that's what you would call that. Window wrap as she looked over the entire city. You also have some honorable mentions. How about the total solar eclipse that we experienced?
That shouldn't be an
April?
honorable mention. That should be on the main list. That was a big deal. But it's funny that you're doing this. I forgot about a lot of these things, but it is shocking when you line them all up. 2024 was an impactful year, both positively and negatively in the state of Indiana.
You had the NBA All-Star Game back in February. Happy hours back
Brand
to
new.
Indianapolis.
It is about time.
Yeah.
Finally. How long did it take us to get alcohol sales on Sunday?
Yeah,
100 years. And now finally happy hours are back, just like a normal state, normal cities can have.
And then 2 final stories, of course, IU in the college football playoffs. We just had that story very recently.
I was a
losing
big fan.
to Notre Dame.
Fully supportive. I loved a Notre Dame fan. I loved seeing IU have a great season, and I hope they can continue.
They set all kinds of school records and while landing their spot there in the playoffs. But also Terre Haute native Richard Goodall. You remember the singing janitor who won hearts of many people and also $1 million when he was crowned the champ for America's Got Talent.
Yeah, I do. He was a viral sensation. He was all over TikTok and Twitter with his singing ability. It was one of those things where you're kind of surprised that this incredible voice is coming out of this guy. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so those are some of the top stories in Indianapolis in 2024. It is the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Kamala Harris, nobody voted for her in a primary. Forget about the general election. The Democrats just kind of threw her up there after they forced Joe Biden out.
Democrat voters decided that Amy Klobuchar, who looks like everybody's mean grandma, was more likable than Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
They thought Eric Swalwell, who farts on national television, was a better choice than Kamala Harris.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Rob. Right now, schedule your free in-home estimate. For every 2 windows you buy, you get the next 2 free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years. Restrictions apply. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Decisions determine results. So which path do I want to take? Help people in need or stand on the sidelines watching? Worry about how to pay for school or have my education paid for? Push myself and learn new skills or stay the same? My decision is to serve part-time with the Army National Guard, and my results will be life-changing. What will you decide? Go to NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service.
Sponsored by the Indiana Army National Guard.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on SingleCare.com, show the coupon at the pharmacy, and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to SingleCare.com or download the free app today.
Come gather around, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the water.
One of my Christmas gifts that I got were a new pair of shoes. Thank you to everybody who commented in the YouTube chat saying that I should be able to run faster and jump higher now. I'm showing them off right now.
Isn't that the way you always feel whenever you get new sneakers? You always like want, I can get like a 4:40 time in these things. I run so fast.
Well, I just feel like if you've got new shoes, you want people to comment on them because they're so clean and new. And these are really comfortable. Normally it takes like a wear or two before they break in, but these were good to go right from the start. So I had to show them off right away. When you were young and you got something new, like not a toy, but like teenage years, even in your 20s, you got clothes for Christmas. You just wanted to wear them right away.
And even new shoes. You put them on. Mom, look how fast I can run.
I know. That's what I'm doing today. This girl got an interesting gift, and it's something that the dude can totally relate to. She got a hot dog roller for Christmas.
Oh my Jesus Christ. What is it? Elite Gourmet? Oh my God, you're lying! It's a hot dog roller. I got a hot dog roller!
That's an interesting gift. A hot dog roller?
So this is, as you would see at a 7-Eleven or a gas station, it's those little metal heated rollers that you sit a hot dog on that heats it up and has it glisten and look all delicious for someone to purchase and buy. And apparently, I didn't even know they made home versions of them, but I guess she got a countertop version of them. And it reminded me, I think it was the very first time I filled in for Rob Kendall. I don't know how we got on the topic, but I talked about how when I got started in radio and I was 19 years old and I was... Radio does not pay very much, contrary to popular belief. Dirt poor, and every day I would get up and I would go to 7-Eleven and I would get the quarter-pound Big Bite, which is the big hot dog. And I did that like every day for 6 months. And now I have this nostalgia for it, and I loved it. And I would slather it with the squeezed cheese and ketchup and mustard, and it was a great thing. And I still... Every time I go into a gas station or 7-Eleven and see those hot dogs on the rollers, I'm like,
you're tempted, aren't you?
I got to get me one of those. And I was all proud of my story and got done telling it and my affinity for roller meat. And I looked at you and Kevin and just the look on both of your faces.
We were disgusted.
What are you? Neither of you have ever eaten a hot dog off of the hot rollers at a gas station or 7-Eleven. And here I was talking about it like it was one of the greatest things I'd ever eaten in my life. And I still have an affinity for roller meat at the gas station. I love it.
They just always look dried and shriveled up to me.
Sometimes, maybe. Yeah, sometimes they are.
They've been on there just a little too long. Well, now you know that there is
a home version.
Yeah.
I am.
You have to price that out.
I'm on Amazon right now, seeing how much they are. I want to check out the wattage on them because if I can't get commercial grade quality to deliver my heated roller meat hot dog, I'm not gonna. I'll just keep buying them from 7-Eleven.
Do you honestly think that we're gonna set something like that up in the kitchen? There is no way. That's the sort of thing you take tailgating with you.
I will set it up in my office at home if I have to or something. But tailgating, I didn't even think of the tailgating
you take
implication.
it tailgating with you.
Do you know?
But not at home.
If I were to bring a hot dog roller to a tailgate,
you think you'd be popular?
I would attract a massive crowd.
Yeah,
that would be a home run.
What in the heck are you doing?
Hit me 2 times on that hot dog roller.
Let's talk about Dave Portnoy. He donated $60,000 to Tiny Brick Oven. It's a veteran-owned pizzeria in Baltimore. They were about to close. The owner is a Navy veteran, and he explained that he had cash flow issues and also a lack of a liquor license, and he really felt like he needed that liquor license to keep his business open. Of course, Dave Portnoy, what is his saying? One bite only. Everybody knows the rules.
One bite, everybody knows the rules.
He visits different pizza joints, and he gives them a ranking. But here he is visiting this struggling Baltimore pizzeria.
That's so cool. Wow. This is, one of my customers here, she's been tagging because we're getting ready to close. And she was like, what do you mean getting ready to close? We're getting ready to close, man. We can't get our liquor license here. It's been like crazy. Closed forever? Yeah, forever. And she was like, Stool Presidente can help you. He's like from my hometown. I'm gonna tag him. He's gonna show up. I was like, closing? Well, we're just not making any money, man. It's been crazy. The thing is, our politicians gave this market down here their liquor license, but they won't give us ours. It's been crazy, man. It's been totally crazy. But when you walked in, I immediately thought of her, man. I was completely blown away. Like, I thought, like, maybe she was right. Maybe she tagged you and you were like,
No, she didn't tag me.
That's so wild.
Well, I hope this pizza's great now.
I mean...
So what happens if this pizza's great and you start getting busy making money? Can you stay open or no?
I think we'll have to stay open. We're going to
have to keep this place open. Is it good?
This is so great. Only the best. Only the best for you, my friend. If we can get you anything else, you know.
No, I'm just here for the pizza.
Of course. We know how you do, man. This is so amazing. I've seen like every review you've ever done, man.
How much money do you need to stay open for like a year?
It's a really good question. I'm not sure.
Well, if there was somebody super rich right in front of your face who's in the pizza business, and by serendipity he's like, what do you need to stay open for a year? You got to give him some figure, because then he's going to walk away.
I know it. Listen, I think we could probably get our liquor license and continue to stay open if we had 60,000. Would that be
done?
Done. Oh my God, that is unbelievable.
Gave him the money. He was impressed by the pizza, and then he offered him the $60,000. And the donation also helped bring in a bunch of other customers. They raised over $50,000 through this fundraiser. And the owner of the pizzeria has also a history of using his business to support veterans and also charitable causes. So good on Dave Portnoy for ponying up the money to help that small business.
The owner of that pizza restaurant is a veteran himself, too. So
he's a
lot
vet.
of great stories. Dave Portnoy catches a lot of crap from a lot of people because he says a lot of controversial things, but he has done an incredible amount. He did an incredible amount for small businesses when they were shut down during COVID, and he has just absolutely done wonderful things in this pizza review that he has done. And you sit here and say, oh, pizza review, well, okay, fine, whatever. These things get hundreds of thousands and millions of views, and a lot of these pizza places that he reviews end up being able to stay in business just because he does the review. And you've got one here that they were going to close in just a couple of days if they didn't get the money, and Dave gave them the money. They did a GoFundMe, fundraised a bunch of other money from their customers, and it was a great Christmas story, and that video went viral Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and for the right reasons.
So CNN's primetime ratings have decreased by 45%, and there was a new study that came out, and it says that 70% of Democrats report stepping back from political news compared to 60% of Republicans. There's just some burnout happening from the news. MSNBC's ratings have gone down 54%. CNN's have dropped 45%, while Fox News saw an increase of 13%. But on CNN, they have one guy, and his name is Scott Jennings, and he is like the lone Republican on the entire network. And he was just named by the Washington Free Beacon as 24's Man of the Year. And he came out and he said, what a great Christmas present. I've been named Free Beacon's Man of the Year for 24, highest honor a pundit or conservative can receive. So here is Scott Jennings doing his thing on Christmas Eve.
Wait a minute! You're not going to let me. You're not going to. It takes Maria 5 minutes to define what the Democratic brand is, and you don't let me respond to it after I show up on time on Christmas Eve. This is an insult that will not be forgotten, Kate. I promise you.
I just bought you 30 seconds just because I'm feeling
Maria, she filibustered me. She filibustered me out of the conversation here.
Stop talking
okay,
and go.
well, it took Maria 5 minutes. Here's 10 seconds. Democrats are the party of uncommon nonsense. Republicans are the party of common sense. It's why our tent right now is full of such a wide ideological spectrum. People are flocking to the Republicans because we stand for common sense. Yeah. And Democrats have taken on all this uncommon fringe nonsense. And if they are in the toilet, my advice, flush away the fringe and the people who have drug you down there, because this is why Republicans won the election.
Okay, so there's a controversial energy drink making a comeback after 40 years, and we'll talk about it coming up from 93 WIBC.
Exercise Inc. wants you to start changing your life in 20 minutes a week this month. It's Terry Stacy, and Exercise Inc. only makes this offer once a year in December. If you come in for a free consultation in the month of December, you'll get 2 free sessions just for trying it out, and you don't even have to sign up. Exercise Inc. is the 20-minute once-a-week workout program that will help you get stronger, have more energy, and just feel better. This program was developed to help women with osteoporosis osteoporosis, but it will help both men and women get a lot stronger. Their program will teach you simple nutritional habits that will help you lose weight and keep it off. More importantly, you'll have a coach who will hold you accountable in reaching your goals. You don't want to miss this offer. Come in for a free consultation in the month of December, and you'll get 2 free sessions just for trying it out. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers, exerciseinc.com.
Hey, it's Rob. If you want to grow your hair back, check out the precision and accuracy of the Artist Robotic FUE at We Grow Hair Indie. You'll be amazed at the permanent natural results you can get and get back to work ASAP. Darren Andrews, Clinic Director of We Grow Hair Indie, is here to tell us more.
The Artist Robotic FUE hair transplant at We Grow Hair Indie, one of the most sophisticated hair transplant procedures available. The accuracy and the precision of the Artist Robotic FUE is what clients love the most. Get the results you want with our Artist FUE or multi-unit hair grafting procedure.
Don't wait. Call today and find out more about the Artist Robotic FUE at WeGrowHairIndie.com. Call 317-522-2995 for your hair evaluation. 317-522-2995 or go to WeGrowHairIndie.com and grow your hair back today.
Hi, this is Richard Stevenson with Stevenson Heating and Cooling, wishing you happy holidays. As a veteran-owned company, we know how important family is and want to say thank you for your continued support and business. We are always here for your heating and cooling needs. 317-557-8532. From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Stevenson Heating and Cooling is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Pat Sullivan for the Michaelis Corporation. Talking with Richard Michaelis about foundations. What are signs of a foundation issue?
Cracks or bowing in your basement walls, uneven floors, or cracked brick? Call Michaelis for a free inspection. We are locally owned for almost 40 years. We offer a lifetime warranty and 0% down on foundation repairs.
Foundations, basements, and crawl spaces, life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it. Call or text 844-FIX-INDY.
Healthcare.gov has plans for health because you have plans for life. All plans cover doctor visits and emergency care to keep you and your family running strong. All plans cover hospital stays and prescriptions so you can have peace of mind. Visit healthcare.gov to explore health plans from the brands you know. 4 out of 5 customers can find a health plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Final deadline to enroll is January 15th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis to destroy unwanted cravings, late day eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Also, stop smoking with Mark Patrick without cravings, irritability, weight gain, or your money back. Seminars January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express in Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar at 8. And January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Register at markpatrickseminars.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
His future is uncertain. I'm Kirk Darling. Here's what's trending at 11:30. When the new Congress convenes, Mike Johnson's bid to be Speaker is far from certain.
House Speaker Mike Johnson emerges bruised from last week's battle over government funding. Anywhere from 4 to 10 Republicans could oppose Johnson. Thomas Massey of Kentucky is a no. Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Harris is undecided. Corey Mills of Florida is fed up.
Johnson has to do his best to start finally showing that he's going to do what he says and not just continue to try and make deals with Hakeem Jeffries.
Republicans relied on Democratic votes to avert a government shutdown last week.
Fox's Chad Pergram. Hundreds of flights canceled and thousands more delayed. It's a busy travel day for the holidays ahead of the new year. I'm Kirk Darling, on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Kendall and Casey Show on 93 WIBC.
Nice job, Ethan. Thanks for filling in today, by the way.
I was making sound. I forgot to turn it on. Of course. By the way, being a producer is the most thankless job in the entire radio station. So thank you, Ethan, very much.
It's been so
Appreciate it.
long since
We
I
thank
flexed
him.
my producer muscles. I was telling Casey, the last time I was actually a producer was before they introduced the YouTube stream. That's how long it's been.
That's how long ago it was. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you've let it slip through on some of the commercial breaks, haven't you?
Whoops.
Yeah.
It's all right, everybody.
In fact, I forgot to turn the camera on right now. Look at that.
People watching on YouTube saw a little behind the scenes what we do during the commercials while the commercials are running, and it's pretty much nothing. Just looking at our phones and doing research for the next break that we're going to do.
Looking at notes. Well, we appreciate it. How'd you draw the short straw, by the way?
Nobody else could come in.
Okay.
I was the only one who was available the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Everybody else doing family stuff on
Yeah.
vacation, but here's Ethan schlepping it in before I leave tomorrow.
Hey, you and I, we're in the same boat, huh? so I don't know. Somebody's producing tomorrow, and I'm not sure I've ever even met him.
It could be you.
Right?
You might be producing
I
tomorrow.
might be producing. You know what? It's been a while since I sat behind a big board like that, but I think I've got it in me if need be. So, a controversial energy drink making a comeback after 40 years, and this time with triple the caffeine content. Here's a blast from the past. Jolt Cola.
That's the original energy
Jolt
drink.
Cola. It was the first modern energy drink. You remember it from the 80s?
I do. In fact, did you ever have Jolt Cola when it was out?
No.
Never?
No.
Really?
Never. How many times do I have to tell you I'm a Coca-Cola girl?
But not even to try and sample it?
I didn't need that caffeine. Not
So
at all.
when Jolt came out, it was their marketing tagline was all the sugar and twice the caffeine. And this came out in the 80s. And I was a little kid back then. And I remember my older brother and I begging our mom because we wanted to try Jolt Cola so bad because that sounded awesome. I was like, what, 8, 9, 10 years old? And it's got all the sugar and twice the caffeine? Hit me 2 times with that one. Yeah, I want it all. And then my mom did actually go out and she bought.
She let you have some?
She bought like 2 individual cans, one for me and one for my brother. That was it, just so that we could try it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't very good. Coke was better, but at least I could say I tried it. And then I had some over the years before they shut down the production of it. But now you're saying it's come back, and now it's no longer twice the caffeine. It's
triple the caffeine.
3 times the caffeine. This is the OG energy drink.
Yeah.
Way before Monster, way before Red Bull, it was Jolt Cola.
It's also going to feature some new ingredients. Nootropics? I don't know what nootropics is.
Sounds like a made-up word.
Yeah. Also, B vitamins, and they say non-stimulant, a non-stimulant booster.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay. So it's in collaboration with a sports supplement brand called Redcon One, and they're aiming to appeal not only to people being nostalgic for their Jolt Cola, but they're also looking to find a new generation. Now, they say that this one will have triple the caffeine of its original version, so 200 milligrams per 16-ounce can. I see you've got your Red Bull there. Does it say how much caffeine is in that?
I don't drink Red Bull very often, but I will drink it occasionally, and I do drink it when I fill in just because it works so well when Rob Kendall has a Red Bull before he goes on the air. I figure I'd give that plan a shot. It does not 114 milligrams of caffeine in a 12-ounce Red Bull, which is what I've got.
Okay, so the Jolt will have more because it's saying 200.
200 in a 12-ounce can. So that is almost double the caffeine of a Red Bull for Jolt Cola. I hope they keep the exact same label on the can because it just reeked of 80s, had a very 80s look to it.
This seems dangerous to me, guys. The amount of caffeine that they're putting in.
Well, isn't that kind of...
Did you hear about that lady who died from drinking
the Panera
energy drinks? It was the
Panera
overly
lemonade.
caffeinated lemonade, and they had to cut it. I forget how much caffeine was in that, but if people are downing these one after another, it could lead to heart failure. I don't know. That sounds concerning.
How much caffeine was in that Panera? I'm looking it up
I'd have
now.
to look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Look,
but
it's a dangerous world out there. Everything is not for everybody. Drink it in moderation. And no, but I get what you're saying, Ethan. In fact, they had to Panera had to take those drinks off of the market. They're no longer available.
The Panera lemonade had 390 milligrams.
So even double the Jolt. If Jolt has 200, then
almost double the Jolt.
So even more. That's still a whole lot of caffeine, but
hey, it's half of what Panera was pushing out. This stuff should be fine. It should be great.
Jolt Cola, they previously filed for bankruptcy in 2009, and then they had a short-lived return in 2017. So I guess they're hoping this is their year.
2025, the year of Jolt Cola. If I see it in stores, I will buy one. I will try it. I will compare it to the taste and how it made me feel as a kid, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Burger King is offering free chicken sandwiches and bacon cheeseburgers through its 31 Days of Deals promotion. You want a free burger?
Let me guess. I'm going to make a prediction.
You have to be a Royal Perks member, by the way.
And you have to order it through the app.
You have to make at least a $1 purchase, too.
Oh, you do? Here's the article. Yes, you have to order it through the app. You can't do everything. Every deal at every fast food restaurant is all app-driven, and I have fought that just because I don't want another app, and I don't want to have to sign up and give them my contact information for another account. It's very draining when you got to do that.
They're saying that on December 27th, you can get a free original chicken sandwich if you have the app and you're a Royalty Perk member and you make a $1 or more purchase. And then on December 30th, it's a free bacon cheeseburger. Same thing. You got to have the app. You got to do all the stuff.
I have never been a big Burger King fan. You love Burger King.
I like it.
And there's nothing at Burger King that says I've got to get that because I can't get it anywhere else or it's better than anywhere else. Okay, fine. Like the Whopper never did much for me. It's okay. It's a really sloppy burger and breaks apart on you.
I think it's got a different taste.
It does have a different it does have a different taste. Their fries have never been great. Their breakfast sandwiches are okay, but they're not as good as McDonald's or Dunkin'. I mean,
so you're not going to beat down the door to run and get your free sandwich.
I'm just saying. Well, I mean,
you're not downloading the app.
I can click off every single fast food place, and I can sit here and go, yes, that place does this. Even places like Dairy Queen, who you think of for desserts, I can say, oh, the Dairy Queen, the chicken strip basket at Dairy Queen, yeah, that's rock solid. I'll go there for that. I can talk about Arby's and how I want to go there for their brisket sandwich. Yep, and the curly fries. Arby's has got that. Wendy's, the Frosty. McDonald's crushes it on breakfast and Coke and their fries, and Burger King just sits there. And I don't, even when on the rare occasion I go to Burger King, I don't know what to order. I usually just get a normal cheeseburger, just like a regular cheeseburger, because I'm like, none of this does that much for me.
So did you see that the owner of In-N-Out says that she was forced to close her Oakland location?
I did see that,
because there was crime almost every day. She was doing this interview, and they were talking about growth. And then the interview turned, and the lady was like, but I know we're talking about growth, but you also saying that you had to close. And she went on to say, well, yeah, because there's been so much crime every single day. There's another issue at the location. So it's the only store in 75 years that they've closed.
Yeah, and rightly so on her part. She said it was really becoming a safety issue for their customers and their employees, and crime was so out of control near their location, they didn't feel they could keep the store open any longer.
Yep, here she is.
I know you just had to shut down one in Oakland, which I'm going to guess why, but I'm going to let you make a remark. But how do you make these decisions, whether to grow or to shut a store down?
It was just absolutely dangerous. There was, out of 365 days, I think almost 300 days, there was some type of event, some type of thing
in
happening.
Oakland.
In Oakland, yeah.
Like what, robberies or violence?
Car burglaries, violence, fights, theft, you name it. I mean, there was a lot. There was actually gunshot went through the store. There's the stabbing. There was a lot. It was really
and you've never shut a restaurant down before.
No.
And so this must have been pretty
huge, hard. It was huge, but we, for the safety of our associates, we just felt like this is not okay, So, and the amount of time it would take for the police to get there too was alarming. So.
Taxes through the roof in California, and yet safety Still
what
an
a
issue.
condemnation on the quality of life in the city of Oakland.
Mhm.
This business, In-N-Out, is beloved by people on the West Coast. I mean, they rave about it. They're super fans. It's been around for 70 years. They've never closed a store. The first store they ever close has to be in Oakland. 5 years ago, the city of Oakland had 3 professional sports teams. They had the Golden State Warriors, the Oakland A's, and the Oakland Raiders. Today, they have 0. The Golden State Warriors went back across the bay and built a stadium in the city of San Francisco, and the Raiders moved to Las Vegas, and the A's are getting ready to move to Las Vegas.
Yeah.
It's been a struggle to be in Oakland, and much of their own doing, unfortunately.
So we're sticking with the food theme for this segment.
Keep it going.
A Starbucks barista strike expanding to 5,000 workers across 300 stores, 45 states. And Ethan, you said that you saw people on Mass Ave out striking.
Yeah,
Was it today?
the Mass Ave Starbucks was striking on Christmas Eve. I think it is probably continuing through today. They're upset because the management is not negotiating with them, and I can't blame them. You talk about overpaid baristas. I don't need a $10 coffee. If Starbucks isn't serving, I'm going to Speedway.
So the workers, they're protesting the unfair labor practices that they're calling it. They're calling it that. They're demanding a 64% wage increase.
Whoa, 64%. 64% wage increase?
Yeah. They're also seeking a contract for better compensation. So Starbucks claims that the union's demands are unsustainable at a 64% increase. They're offering a benefits package with an average of a $30 per hour pay.
$30 an hour? That's what Starbucks is offering, but that's not enough.
Yeah.
Because they want more.
You guys
I
are
can get a
shocked.
job at Starbucks for $30 an hour?
I don't know.
I'm a landlord. I don't make $30 an hour.
Yeah. What am I doing here?
You're working for free right now.
Yeah, I could
That's
be at
what you're doing.
Starbucks serving up macchiatos and making $30 an hour.
Yep, that's right. So a majority of people say that they have a harder time keeping their house clean rather than doing their job. And we're going to talk about it coming up from 93 WIBC. Hey, it's Casey from the Kendall and Casey Show. Merry Christmas. We'll see you back here Thursday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
The holidays are a time for reflection on what matters most and the relationships that make life meaningful. At Trajan Wealth, we're proud to be a trusted partner for many of you on your financial journey. Whether you're planning for tomorrow or looking to build a legacy, we believe in doing what's right every time. As a veteran-owned company, I know trust isn't given, it's earned through honesty, integrity, and a commitment to putting our clients' needs first. For those of you who have heard my commercials for years but haven't yet called, know that most of our clients come to us from other financial advisors. Our expert team, who has hearts of teachers, promises not to waste your time. This is more than our duty, this is our passion. So, this holiday season, let us help you unwrap the gift of Trajan Wealth. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
What are you waiting for? Join Mark Patrick Seminars and lose the weight or stop smoking guaranteed. Early bird special only $49.99. Hypnosis designed to destroy unwanted cravings, late night eating binges, boredom eating, stress eating. Seminar Thursday, January 23rd at the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, Indianapolis Northeast and Noblesville. Weight loss seminar 5:30, stop smoking seminar 8 p.m. Or Saturday, January 25th at the Holiday Inn Indianapolis Airport. Weight loss seminar 11 a.m., stop smoking seminar 2 p.m. Registration 30 minutes before. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com. That's markpatrickseminars.com.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros. And a thank you to our loyal customers for making our agency a national sales leader for the 7th straight year. We recently saved a family of 4 over $500 monthly when compared to their ACA plan. You know it's still Obamacare, right? We've recently saved a 61-year-old retiring couple over $600 when compared to their COBRA plan. Breaking news. We are now able to offer health insurance to employer groups of all sizes with 2 of the largest insurers in the Midwest. We'll be here when you need us. Quoting my favorite president, what the heck do you have to lose? We can help. As always, God bless America, or at least what's left of her.
Call Ron or Terry at 317-563-0868. That's 317-563-0868. Or go to rragency.org. That's rragency.org. A health plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the Degenerates Next Door, a sports betting podcast for dudes.
Real dudes, not the fake Kardashian-looking like dudes you see on television doing this. The Degenerates Next Door. Download and subscribe today anywhere you get your podcast.
Joe Biden has signed 50 bills into law. He did this on Christmas Eve. Now, we talked about how he made the bald eagle the official U.S. bird. We also talked about how he granted clemency to 37 federal death row inmates, and he also vetoed a bill for a new federal judgeships. A couple other bills that he passed. One included Paris Hilton's Stop Institutional Child Abuse Act, and that is to protect teenagers that are in treatment facilities. She was very excited about that. She was on a scooter around D.C. after the bill passed, getting super involved in politics. Joe Biden also passed a new law preventing convicted members of Congress from receiving pensions related to public corruption.
So if you are a member of Congress and you get convicted of public corruption, they take away your federal pension.
Yeah.
That's right. Because, you know, that's actually another good thing that Biden did. I'm all for all of these. Keep it up, Joe. Stop giving our money to Ukraine and Ecuador.
No, he did that too.
But do these sorts of things. That's a law. If you get convicted of a felony, if you're a federal employee and you get convicted of a felony, you lose your federal pension. And so why shouldn't that rule also apply to Congress as well? Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it does now. Lindy Lee, she is a former Harris Walz fundraiser, and here she is tearing into Kamala Harris for blowing her campaign money, what she called on failed stunts. She said they essentially set $2.5 billion on fire.
Ashley, Merry Christmas. It's wonderful to be with you.
Merry Christmas.
This has been a long time coming. My initial disillusionment became clear when I realized that they burnt essentially set $2.5 billion on fire. They raised $1.5 billion through the campaign, another $1 billion through the super PAC Future Forward. And there's been no accountability. We still haven't gotten any answers as to why Oprah, a billionaire, got $2.5 million through her production company. Why couldn't she pay for it? She's an oligarch. She could have just paid for the production costs herself. And not to mention the fact that they spent $450,000 putting Kamala Harris's face on the sphere. Now tell me why that would be helpful. Tell me how that would help her win. Obviously, that was utter failure. And then they spent $500,000 essentially bribing Al Sharpton moments before he interviewed her. And this is our hard-earned money. This is the money that I worked so hard to raise. I raised millions of this, and donors are feeling burned. And let me tell you, although I might be the only one coming forward, I haven't met a single donor who disagrees with me.
So she's not happy about this.
That's a Democrat saying all of that.
Well, former Democrat, because she is now supporting the RNC.
Well, a Democrat a month and a half, 6 weeks ago, a woman who was a Democrat.
This is true. But how frustrating for her. She went out and raised all of that money. And like she said, they put Kamala Harris's face on the sphere in Las Vegas.
And how interesting that Donald Trump completely breaking the myth that you need to be the highest fundraiser to win an election. Hillary raised way more money than he did. Kamala raised way more money than he did. And he beat them both.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Ethan. Good job today. And thank you for listening. This has been the Kendall and Casey Show. It's 93 WIBC.
Happy New Year from Life Church. This is Ross Steele, pastor at our Pendleton campus. You've heard the phrase, New Year, New You. It's usually referring to weight loss or financial goals. But we believe that this year can bring a new relationship with God and give your year more meaning, purpose, and fulfillment than you ever thought possible. Join us